And now, what an interesting couple of weeks for them. Niners, and then to Detroit. That's fun.
That Detroit game is going to be real fun. Could be an NFC Championship game preview.
Well, you can't stop Mac Jones. I mean, first you got to deal with San Francisco. Right?
Yeah.
Got to deal with that. Anyway, it's a great win with the Bucs. That was a really, really great win. We got more of the NFL to get to. The hour kicks off, though, with the news next.
Did you just miss that segment?
I had made a prior commitment, and it's just, anyway.
There's a solution to that. Search The Beat of Sports on the iHeartRadio app and hit subscribe.
Maxine's on Shine at 337 North Shine Avenue invites you to join them for a great dining experience. And we use the beginning of the week to remind you, make a reservation if you're going for dinner. Maxine's on Shine. And this coming Wednesday, it's a dinner show night, the Key to Murder dinner show, happening this Wednesday and next Wednesday at Maxine's on Shine. It's a great, different, unique dining experience. And if you go to maxinesonshine.com, you can check out. There's 2 shows at 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock. You get a great meal. Wonderful dinner performance, and please lock in that reservation for the dinner show for Wednesday this week and Wednesday next week. Also make that reservation for the week ahead with dinner Thursday, Friday, Saturday, brunch on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Indoor, outdoor options available at Maxine's on Shine. For all the information you need, menu, upcoming events, go to maxinesonshine.com. 337 North Shine Avenue. It's a wonderful dining experience at Maxine's on Shine.
Still looking at heavy traffic today on I-4 in the Orlando area by the major attractions exits this.
Onto a juicy butter burger. We're talking about Midwest magic. It turns real Wisconsin cheddar into gooey golden cheese curds. That same cheddar is used in our Wisconsin cheddar cheese sauce, so you can dip all your favorite snacks in rich, melty goodness that's made the Wisconsin way. It's not just about conjuring up delicious cheese. It's about handcrafting every meal with love, because at Culver's, we want every bite to be turned into a smile. That's Midwest magic, and we can't wait to share it with you. Order ahead in the app or online and come taste the magic for yourself.
From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay.
Everything's fixed now, guys. No more sports. No more sports. Got the real thing happening, guys. Happy Monday, friends. And we're going to kick this party off in just a little bit. So I love you. I'm so glad you're here. And let's have some fun. All right. Ta-ta now.
Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
RC Hill Mitsubishi knows it's a crime to pay more than a dime. One dime down in DeLand, and Ocala.
The rest of Central Florida is scary.
Look into my eyes. You will put thousands down.
Hold it right there, mister.
Seriously? I'm closing a deal here.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime. One dime down.
Thank you, officer. That guy is creepy.
Yes, ma'am. Now let's get you to RC Hill Mitsubishi.
RC takes any trade, even if you're still out thousands.
Any trade and dime down? That's just batty.
Thousands more for your trade. All you need is a job and a dime.
Acres of pre-owned plus new Mitsubishis with 0% financing for 60 months.
New Outlander SUVs have all the toys and your engine's covered for life.
It truly is a crime to pay more than a dime.
RC Hill Mitsubishi.
In DeLand, just 2 miles off I-4.
DeLand and Ocala.
RCHill.com.
RCHill.com.
Dime down, $535 a month, 72 months at 6% APR plus tax tag title to qualified buyers.
Are you shopping for hurricane impact windows? Get your free quote now, reesewindows.com.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Holiday magic. Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Bills. BILLS. That's Bills. Enter it now at realradio.fm and get a little holiday magic. And may the odds be ever in your favor.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Monday, October 6th, 2025. Lots to get to today, from President Trump vs. SNL to the gross new Netflix series that just shocked the world, and chaos breaks out in Chicago. Couldn't read my handwriting. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane. Hi. And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Record yours now at thenewsjunkie.com. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right in the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Monday?
Good.
Feels like Monday. It's definitely
solid
Monday vibes.
It's solid Monday weather. I'll say that. It's definitely a Monday outside.
I mean, I drank coffee, I took my medication, and still on the way here with all the rain, I'm like, that couch looks so good.
And I am here despite multiple escalating monetary offers from my wife to call in sick.
Really? She was trying to bribe you?
She's done this before, but
how high did we go up? What was the number at?
I don't think she got as high as last time. I think she got to $700 Venmo immediately.
$700, and you said no?
Yeah,
but I think last time it was $1,000, and she just didn't remember. But
Courtney could have said 50 cents, and I would have said yes this morning. My laptop gave me the message that was like
2 quarters these days.
My laptop gave me the message that was like, plug it in soon or it's going to die. And I'm like, same. I feel that's how I feel as a human today. I was like, I don't know what's going on here.
Man, we need to chat in the mornings, huh? Everyone's on the same page.
Here's what we got. We got a show, a big show, a medium-sized show, actually. A medium-sized show on the way for you today.
Show,
it's
which
a
reminds me.
Extra large.
I see.
What?
What?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. Let's get started. This is what you got, folks, today.
Don't just promise medium.
I should have gone smaller. Fun-sized. A fun-sized show for you today. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to the President of the United States of America. Trump had a big weekend. Talking about the things. He was out there yapping on the trail in front of a very large American flag, as he's wont to do. And
the biggest American flag.
He talks a lot. And so, much like me on the show sometimes you just end up talking about random stuff. And I guess somehow he got into a speech about walking up and down the stairs.
Okay.
And like how to do it the right way and how to do it the wrong way.
The point of this gathering, was there one? Was there a theme to it?
I never know.
Okay.
I mean, it was like there were people there. There was a crowd. They were excited.
Hello, people.
He could say anything, you know. And he's talking about going up and down the stairs. Let's listen in.
I walk very slowly. Nobody has to set a record. Just try not to fall, because it doesn't work out well.
Is he okay?
A few of our presidents have fallen, and it became a part of their legacy. We don't want that. You walk nice and easy. You don't have to set any record. Be cool. Be cool when you walk.
Be cool when you're walking down the stairs.
Let me write that down.
I probably would try to do the thing, and I told you guys I just tried this out to see if I still have it. I think it's a test. Mm-hmm. For those of you who, like me, are, young-ish, you're getting up there a little bit, you're in your early 40s.
Mm-hmm. Not youngish.
The test is, if you get a big flight of stairs in front of you, you got to see if you could do it like you used to. When you were a little kid, and you were like, and your feet went so fast in front of you, you don't even know how they hit the steps.
It's all rhythm. It's concentration. Do not dare look at your phone while doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is
As an adult, it's dangerous.
It's a way to look cool. Mm-hmm. I think all of us, regardless of our age, anything over 30, you are guaranteed to not look cool if you're going upstairs.
Oh, it's harder, yeah.
After that third flight.
Remember as a kid, you would just skip stairs because you could?
The more flights you go up, once you get over the age of 30, the more you're like leaning on the railing.
Like, why are my legs shaking right now? I don't remember this.
There was a one time, true story, one time I was doing the early morning show on the station, and I realized, oh my God, I'm going to run late here because there's a problem. There was a fire alarm in the building, and all the elevators were down. And then that made them like lock the parking garage or some reason. So I had to get down to the bottom of the building, and I was 26 floors up. So I went down all these flights of stairs, down, and got into my car and drove to the station just in the nick of time to start the show. But when I got to the first break, I wanted to get up and throw away a piece of paper, and my legs didn't work anymore. And I was like, just trying to like throw my legs around from going downstairs. That's a sad state of affairs there. But he's got the way to do it. I
appreciate your transparency, Sean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was embarrassing. It remains that way. But I'm learning here how to do it the cool way.
Oh, that was pre-radio on TV days.
Down the stairs. So one thing with Obama, I had zero respect for him as a president, but he would bop down those stairs. I've never said, da-da-da-da-da-da, pop, pop, pop. He'd go down the stairs, wouldn't hold on. I said, it's great. I don't want to do it. I guess I could do it. Great. But eventually, bad things are going to happen. And it only takes once. But he did a lousy job as president.
It's unreal. It's unreal. But a lousy president.
The funniest thing in the world is that you could just go down any avenue. Like, I worry sometimes when we're talking about something, I'm like, this is boring, on to the next thing. This is boring, on to the next thing. And then I watch sometimes what people will take interest in. And I'm like, number one, I've realized a lot of you are weirdos. We could talk about the Ed Gein thing this weekend on Netflix. Buddy. All right? And the weirdo in my house. Number one, a lot of you are weirdos. And number two, you have patience to listen to all sorts of nonsense, like just random chattering and yapping about all sorts of things.
This works out great. If you see that the story or segment is getting to be really boring, just end it with, but Obama was a lousy president.
At the end, you just bring in the insult.
It doesn't care if we didn't mention any sort of Obama reference, just, but remember, Obama, lousy president.
Oh, there he goes. And I like the little song he did, too. Let me see. Can I get that back? Going down the stairs, he's like, dude.
Obama, I had zero respect for him as a president, but he would bop down those stairs. I've never said, da-da-da-da-da-da, pop, pop, pop.
Not sure what that song was, but I do know Trump had a big weekend. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on. And one of the things was he did an appearance with the Navy, I believe. Like, you know, the U.S. military, 250 years in the Navy.
The First Lady as well.
They were all out there doing their thing. And that's great. I think that's fantastic to go out there and support the troops and stuff. I did think, and I don't know, like this may be a common thing, but I did think when they pulled up in Marine One, the presidential chopper, the soundtrack that they were blasting for all the seamen out there on deck was a little bit much. I mean, it was a choice, and it was maybe an effective choice. But as Marine One is humming in and making its way to land on this Navy ship, you hear the music that's accompanying it. All right. The Top Gun theme song. Which, I mean, one thing that kind of hits the mind is it's a helicopter. Top Gun is an airplane.
Exactly,
thing.
Yes.
It's a theme to any airplane, stuff with propellers. Obama was a lousy president.
So they came into that, which was pretty fun, too.
They should have just, cranked up a little.
He's starting to do that old man whisper thing.
Can you hear it in that?
No, in the speech leading up to
Well, he could do that all he wants. If you come in with this, can't really hear it because the chopper's a bit loud, as it were. But that's what they did. They made their way in and celebrated there with the 250th birthday of the Navy. And I wanted to say to you,
Navy.
Yeah, Navy people, happy birthday. Happy birthday. You did it. They said you couldn't do it. You made it 250 years. And honest to God, that's impressive. Most things do not make it 250 years.
You don't look a day over 249.
True. Yeah, well, there they are. You guys know anybody in the Navy? You know anybody who served in the Navy? Probably not. Yes. You unpatriotic swine. You probably don't.
Okay, do you?
Well, my father was in the Marines, as you know, which makes me part and parcel of the Marines.
Not, no.
Yeah,
but my uncle is a Navy vet, my Uncle Joe, and a proud Navy vet. Tattoos, like all the Navy tattoos all over him. Yeah. And the funny thing was, my uncle, I don't know if this is still the case, like, will this happen to me one day? But my uncle got all of these tattoos when he was in the Navy. And he's now 75, 76 years old or something. And if you look at them now, they have all formed together into one cohesive blob of nothing. So
the technology was different then, but yeah, I've seen those where it's someone wrote in permanent marker and you have taken 5 showers.
You're like, oh, cool. It's an anchor. And he's like, no, that's a mermaid. It's a mermaid. I got it off of the coast of Hawaii. And you're like, oh, it's beautiful. It's absolutely stunning and amazing to look at. So we have so many things to get into today. We're going to talk about the new season of SNL and what went wrong there and Trump's reaction to it. We'll get into that a little bit. I do want to talk about, because this weekend, and it wasn't even just this weekend in my house, it was the entire run-up to the release of this horrific show on Netflix about a killer named Ed Gein.
That was
horrific in subject.
So many levels.
Or was the actual quality of the show also horrific?
It was disgusting and disturbing. And for me to look back and see Courtney on the couch with sort of her head in her hands, watching eagerly the Ed Gein story, and she's like, it's interesting to see that he's getting some credit finally. And I'm like, what?
I mean, there was so many layers to it, and so often during because we watched it all in one sitting. We looked at each other like, what the hell is going on here?
It's
Next episode.
Yeah, we'll get into that, what's going on. Hey, thanks to everybody, by the way, over on YouTube right now. Like Leslie, who says Navy vet, 22 years, very much fun. Bunch of other people. Sun State John says he's a Navy vet. I'm assuming that you folks are telling the truth, and I absolutely appreciate your service and all that good stuff. So there you go. Congratulations on 250 years. We'll get into the Ed Gein thing. We'll get into SNL. That's just the first hour of the show. We missed out, as per usual. I mean, you know how the show goes now. Right after the show ended, as expected, got the verdict, the sentencing in the Diddy case, and some of the things attached to that. And can you imagine when he was sitting in that courtroom how pissed off Diddy was?
Oh yeah.
I think he really thought he was going to get out and do speeches that weekend and to start planning his tour. And
we talked on Friday about the thing where he had booked some speaking engagements, and the prosecution tried to use that against him, being like, see, he clearly has no respect for the law. He already thinks he's just walking out of here.
Yeah.
But the other thing that caught my eye, and I'm trying to find the screenshot I have of it, that I don't know that we really discussed this, but I go, where were these lawyers educated?
Okay.
Because the attorney broke down in tears when his defense tried to argue for a light sentence, and lawyer Nicole Westmoreland said he deserved leniency Because he was awarded Menswear Designer of the Year by the American Fashion Council in 2004.
That's a great shield.
Designer, he deserves leniency because he got
Your
a
Honor.
fashion award 20 years ago.
That is the one award he has. He's not gotten anything besides that.
Your Honor, I'd like you to go easy on Sean with this sentencing. He is, of course, the 2019 Fritz on the Street winner. All right, and let's be a little lenient here.
He deserves leniency because his podcast was the most downloaded for a year.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll get into all of that, the reaction, and more on a very busy show. So join us with your dispatches, your emails, all of that good stuff over at thenewsjunkie.com. That is coming up next on The News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. From the Clausman Law Traffic Center.
Hey, folks. Happy Monday. Here we are doing it again. We're also going to talk about what's happening in Chicago a little bit later on today. I mean, we are loaded up and ready to go. And I'm just glad you're with us today. So thank you.
This
Thank you.
report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole...
Chris says, bro, did you see that scene where he penetrates the cadaver for the first time?
With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find.
If I didn't know what you were talking about, I would be quite worried. But yes, I do know what you're talking about, unfortunately.
Halloween brew bus headed to Lake County. The two buses are ready to roll Saturday, October 25th with stops.
I thought you were still talking about Diddy until you said Fritz. I was putting myself in his position.
And tickets for the bus will go on sale Wednesday, October 1st at 10 a.m.
I'll tell you one thing that was pretty wild to me. You know, you know how I feel about much of this stuff now. I think people yelp about Trump way too much. I think people clutch pearls and obsess over a lot of this shit when you should just enjoy your life. And honestly, the thought that you can't do that is a preposterous one to me. However, at this event where it was supposed to be like 250 years celebrating the Navy, Trump's speech was like super political. He was like, we got to get rid of this gnat that they call the Democrats, and we got to, and he kept like, and I'm thinking, I mean, there's a big crowd of Navy sailors here. Odds are some of them are probably Democrats, right? Like, maybe we should not do that. But I guess that ship has sailed, literally. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday night, nurse. Look at all you veterans or people connected to veterans out there. I appreciate everybody thanking me for my service too. It's a nice and respectful thing that you do, and after all I've put in for this country, it's a pleasure to hear that. So thank you. Vicky says, yes, thank you to all our veterans. Thank you to the families and everybody for your service. John says he doesn't give an S about anything but himself. Hello? Yeah. Hang on, folks. I'm going to turn the microphone on so people know what you're... Like, nobody in the world would have guessed what you just... Why is that? What's going on with your Monday that's what you got? Play it for the people. Yeah, play it for the people. You guys want to hear what she's listening to? Give me it. I'll play it for them. Put it right by the speaker. Here, I'll put it. This is what she brings to me. Get out of here. What is happening in the world? This is what Ed Gein has done to your brain. Huh?
I think it's fun.
Yeah, I know you do. Just hear those sleigh bells ring-a-ling-ding. What a weirdo. Legit valor, Sean. Yes, of course. Okay, we got 2 minutes and we're coming back live on the show. Courtney's a strange character. She's a strange... She just goes, mute the mic. Is this did you hear this song? I have now. Thank you. And what I will say to her is, hit the brakes. We're in October, okay? Don't go straight to Christmas mode yet. Ed Gein and his icebox full of vulvas. That may have been one of the more disturbing parts. I don't know. How do we feel about this, guys? Before we get into the Netflix series that is disturbing the world right now, how do we feel about these corporations creating content on the backs of like these horrific things? Do we feel like that's okay? Like Netflix going, okay, of all the things in the world we can pick to make a show out of, let's take this guy. What's next? The Icebox Killer? We'll do a comedic version of the Icebox Killer or something, and it's all kind of a bit much to me. But I want to know what you think about that. Okay, here we go. We're coming back live right now. Hello, hello.
Allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it. Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
On the new season of the podcast Heavyweight,
I pointed the gun at him and said, "This isn't a joke."
A man who robbed a bank when he was 14 years old, and a centenarian rediscovers a love lost 80 years ago.
How can a 101-year-old woman fall in love again?
Listen to Heavyweight on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Heavyweight and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Holiday magic! Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, BILLS. BILLS. That's BILLS. Enter it now at realradio.fm and get a little holiday magic. And may the odds be ever in your favor.
Join the show. Send your dispatch now at thenewsjunkie.com.
Hope all went well with your weekend. Hope you weren't dragged along and forced in any way to sit in the theater and watch that Taylor Swift thing. Whatever that was. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The amount of showtimes in some of these theaters over the weekend for Taylor Swift and this movie that she made. So she has the #1 movie in the country and the #1 album in the country. It's all a bit much. It's all a bit much to see. And it doesn't even seem like maybe somebody saw it and then give me the rundown, but it doesn't seem like there was much there. It was like an 80-something minute feature where they debuted a music video and showed some behind-the-scenes stuff. #1 at the box office this weekend.
Damn.
$33 million. Okay. All right. What did Joker 2 do at its opening weekend?
$33, I believe.
If you look at those two compared to each other, it's like, all right, here we go. She has her audience so well monetized. It's so crazy to me. She's just cranking stuff out, and they love it, man. They love it. I listened to a couple of songs on Taylor Swift's new album, so I was familiar with it.
I have been subject to, I think, a good portion of the album.
What'd you think? What were your thoughts?
There's some decent stuff. There's one where it's the same chord progression for Where Is My Mind by the Pixies.
Oh, really?
That one stood out to me a little bit.
There's a bunch that, like, the few that I heard were pretty boring, I thought. Like, there were some songs that were just kind of boring.
A couple of them were a little mellow, not mellow, but subdued compared to others.
Maybe I'm old, though. Like, maybe that's in right now. Maybe the kids are into the mellow stuff. I don't know what they're into anymore. But Taylor Swift, the Showgirl movie, number 1 at the box office, $33 million. Leonardo DiCaprio, number 2 with $11 million. The Rock.
What's the movie called, buddy?
One battle after another. I just said Leonardo DiCaprio at number 2.
We just had this discussion.
I was about to say Another One Bites the Dust. I have no idea what that movie is called.
Number 3 was this movie that The Rock made, and it's always kind of funny to me. The Rock's like, I'm going to really flex my muscles here. I'm going to do some serious acting. I'm going to change my entire appearance and lose a whole bunch of weight and look all emaciated to nail the role and physically alter myself. And the $6 million. You know, it's like they spent $50 million on this movie.
This was going to be his Academy Award winning role.
Yeah. I think they were betting big on this. Well, I mean, maybe, but it seemed like people didn't really. Like when you start to go after that audience, it's like, okay, most people who like The Rock want some fun action movie with it. You know what I mean? Like I've seen The Jungle. What is it? What's the damn Robin Williams movie that they redid? The Jumanji. I've seen Welcome to the Jungle is the second one from Jumanji, I think. But I've seen those movies and it's such a fun romp and I love all that crap. But then you're like, okay, now take this guy very seriously and he's going to make you cry. It's like when they said the Toy Story movie was supposed to make you cry. And then it got to that scene where all the characters and Woody and Buzz, they're in the, they're about to go into the incinerator and they're like, you know, about to die. But all I could think of was everybody's crying in the theater. And I'm like, they're toys and they're not alive, you know? And it just didn't ever rope me in. I think people felt that way about the Smashing Machine.
Was that the part that was supposed to make people cry? I thought it was the end where they like...
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. There's a parting of ways.
Oh, well, that too. I think there's a bunch of moments where they wanted to make you cry. They successfully did it for most people. I'll tell you what made me cry. Sporky. Sporky made me cry because they just blatantly introduced the most suicidal character in animation history.
And relatable.
Like,
come on.
He's like, they're like, no, Sporky, don't do it. He's like, ah!
Wait. Wasn't there a character in the Super Mario Brothers movie that was pretty...
sad?
Yeah.
It's a weird move. I don't know why they do that.
Pretty put me out of my misery-ish. Like,
yeah, leave that to Inside Out, all right? They'll tell us about all the emotions we're having in our body and how to deal with it and stuff. But anyways, they tried their best. They failed. They missed over with the Smashing Machine. Gabby's Dollhouse in at number 4. The Conjuring Last Rites in at number 5. All the way down beyond Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle, and then some. Good Boy from IFC, the one about
the scary movie.
The scary movie from the dog's perspective. Right. It was in 9th place with $2.8 million. But that was really good for them, actually. I know it sounds bad, but I think it already makes it after the opening weekend the 3rd biggest movie for IFC and Shudder. That's like the streaming operation that they have in history. So I still want to see that. I'm sure it'll be out on streaming, lickety-split, and I'll give him a couple of my bucks to watch that soon. Meanwhile, doesn't matter how many bucks he has, he couldn't get himself out of prison last week. Diddy gets hit with it a bit, just a bit below the sentencing guidelines. The judge on Friday ordered Sean Diddy Combs to serve 50 months in prison. Which is just over
that fashion award.
Too bad. Too bad.
Well, now he can try to do some fashion in a jailhouse outfit.
He's going to have to because it was just over 4 years. He's already served 1 year. So he's got very close to 3 years in prison left when this son of a bitch was planning his weekend. He's like, all right, first we'll do a couple speaking engagements.
I hope he didn't sign any contracts.
That's why I saw 50 Cent came out and he was like, I heard there might be some people in need of a speaker this weekend at some events. He's just getting them, man. He was sentenced in federal court in New York City 3 months after he was convicted on the 2 prostitution-related charges. One thing I thought was interesting. So he was acquitted on the charges of sex trafficking and racketeering and all that stuff. He was convicted on the 2 prostitution-related charges, which were essentially boiled down to hiring a prostitute and having them cross state lines. And that was basically the charge that Diddy was facing. The judge, after giving the sentence, which was, I think a fine sentence from the judge, by the way. I think that it made sense. It wasn't too lenient. You didn't let him off too easy, et cetera, et cetera. But 11 years seemed too much. But the judge starts to say, I want to take a brief moment and shout out the bravery of the women who testified in this court, and Cassie, and then the Jane Doe that spoke in court. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's nice. And the judge kind of like kept going, and it was like, we wanted to get the verdict that you deserved, and we wanted to make sure that none of this happened in vain. And the judge kept going on with this stuff, and at some point I'm like, hey, isn't this kind of weird? Because he wasn't convicted on those charges. Like, the judge is basically saying, we heard your horrific stories of your abuse, and we wanted to make sure that the punishment fit the crime. And in my head, I was like,
that's not the crime he was convicted for.
I don't care, but that's not the crime he was convicted for.
Was he found not guilty, or they dropped the charges?
He was acquitted on the sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy charges. So it seemed a little bit weird that the judge was going over that. Here's an example. While nothing can undo the trauma caused by Combs, the sentence imposed today recognizes the impact of the serious crimes he committed. We are confident that with the support of her family and friends, Miss Ventura, this is her attorneys, I guess, will continue healing, knowing that her bravery and fortitude have been an inspiration for so many. After delivering his sentencing, the judge wanted to speak to the 2 women who testified against Combs. You've been through abuse many of us can't imagine. And the judge went on and on and on about that. It was like, I guess nobody's going to really care. Diddy seems like the most unlikable guy. I don't believe for a second that he regrets anything other than the fact that he's in prison right now. I don't think that he's like, I got to change my life when I get out of here. I think my money is on in 3 years. That son of a bitch is going to get out, and he's going to start doing speaking engagements or whatever. And he's going to tell you how the judicial system wronged him. All right. Because, everybody was against him or whatever. And he's not going to be a changed person, I don't think. So there he is. He will wither away for at least 3 years in prison and then be released afterwards. Oh, and also $500,000 fine to boot.
Which I think was the maximum they could impose by law, right?
And yes, and it makes sense. It's like, what you got to hit him with something that's going to make the most impact, because $500,000 to a regular person is a lot. $500,000 to Diddy is not. So hit him with the whole damn thing, and that's what they ended up doing. Also this weekend, how many of us saw the season premiere of season 51 of Saturday Night Live?
Missed it.
I saw the clips online.
Okay. I watched it. I sat down and watched this.
You watched the whole show?
Yes.
Wow.
And if I ever get sentenced, I think that I deserve some time off and easy judgment from
leniency.
Some leniency would be nice, just for getting through that episode of Saturday Night Live. And I sat there afterwards, after having watched the entirety of this show, from the insanely bad and boring performances from Doja Cat to sketch after sketch that was not funny at all. I mean, not even like, okay, you just don't get this. Like, I didn't see too many people who were like, this was hilarious. I didn't know, and this is why I have a question for everybody here. I didn't know, who do you blame? Do you blame the new cast members that are just not gelling yet because it's really early and you got to give them some time? Do you blame when an episode is bad? Do you blame the writers for SNL? They got new writers on their staff. And
how much did the writing staff switch up?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know who's to blame, but I know it was bad. It was bad to watch this. They had two bits that were pretty good. There was one with Bad Bunny and I think Guillermo del Toro, who showed up. And they were talking, Guillermo del Toro, they were talking about how in the Spanish language you assign a word to be male or female and how it doesn't make sense a whole bunch of times. It's like a silly premise, probably been done before a bunch of times. But at least that was like okay, and they had a couple of decent jokes in there. There were some skits that were just like stone cold not funny. Like just not, you couldn't find the laugh line in there. Of course, the studio audience will go for just about anything that you give them. But even the stories from places like Screen Rant, who are usually usually friendly on these topics, say Saturday Night Live season 51 premiere leaves fans deeply divided. And it says a fresh new cast, which comes with recent additions such as Cam Patterson. Cam Patterson's from Florida. What's he doing up there? The state of Florida is depending on you, Cam Patterson. And he comes in with a bit about, can I say the N-word? And it was like clunky and, oh, God. The only funny thing, really, was Michael Che made a joke that I was like, that's an excellent point, about how the Trump administration said that they were going to send ICE to the Super Bowl for Bad Bunny performing. And he goes, yes, a notable place where illegal immigrants will hang out, where tickets cost $15,000 to watch the Super Bowl. And I was like, that's a good point. Couple of
well, they're saving money by not paying taxes, clearly.
Yeah. They're probably not going to be in attendance, I don't think. Lorena says, I'm Hispanic and I couldn't get through Bad Bunny's acting and accent. I think he did whatever he could with the premises.
I did see the clip of the semen bit over at the restaurant. Was that?
Yeah. They're, like, again, the idea that you have a couple at a restaurant who wants their friend to help them get pregnant, and then somebody else overhears it, and like they're like, I'm willing to do it. It's like, who greenlit this? Like, I feel like that's been done 8 billion times. Like, it's like the most obvious thing in the world. There was a lot of stuff just like that. There was a lot of that. And I don't know. I want to see what everybody thought about this. And who do you think, when you watch that, do you blame the writers? Do you blame I can't even really blame the actors, because none of the new cast even made an appearance until like the last 20 or 30 minutes of the show. And they just like pop in at that point in time.
So somebody like did the numbers on Reddit, r/live from New York. Mm-hmm. It says there's 7 brand new writers.
Right. Okay.
3 with 1 season of experience, 3 with 2 to 3, 3 with 4 seasons of experience, and 8 with 5+ seasons of experience. Mm-hmm. That's still like a big chunk. I would be.
It all comes down to what Lorne Michaels approves, right?
Yeah, I would be surprised if there's that many that the 7 brand new ones got much on the air.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Versus the 8 people with 5+ seasons of experience.
Like, it was probably similar to the new cast members who didn't get that much screen time.
There was 5 brand new cast members.
Uh-huh. One of them, I think, I don't know if it was a new one, or there was one cast member that didn't even show up on the show. They weren't in anything. They didn't get a feature in anything.
That's common, especially with the they call them like the featured players. Mm-hmm. You're kind of like a cast member light. You know, when you first start off, I believe David Spade for a while, just when he got signed on to that cast and he was a featured player, he wasn't in hardly anything.
Oh, really? They just iced him out, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't until he started like making fun of people and doing that snarky David Spade thing, like till he came into his own, and that was what really kind of started to get him a little traction on the show.
Yeah, they also I think it was the opening bit, really, not the like political thing that they always start with. That's usually not all that funny, but the first like bit that they do, they did one that was recorded. You know, they do the recorded bits, and it was Chat GPTO, and it was like a Spanish uncle that is the Chat GPT replacement, which was like mildly funny. But they did a bit on Jeopardy where one of the contestants didn't understand the rules of the game and didn't understand you had to answer in the form of a question. And it's like, oh my God, this is so unoriginal. All this stuff is really bad. Bootsy Moonshine on Twitch says, maybe I'm out of touch, but I didn't understand any of the references on the sketches I saw. I mean, the thing that I'll close with here before we open it up to folks who might have some comments on that is, and by the way, they try to get the White House to comment on this. The White House said, reacting to this would require me to waste time and energy watching it. White House spokeswoman Abigail Jackson told Entertainment Weekly. And like millions of Americans who have tuned out from SNL, I haven't seen the ratings yet, by the way, I have more entertaining things to do, like watch paint dry. So, watching all of this stuff, the last segment in particular, it was directed solely at like the Latin American audience who had watched this very specific television show when they were children, and they did a riff off of this television show. For anybody else, it doesn't make any sense and it's not funny at all. And it's like, okay, well, like targeting different groups might be good. You know, bringing in different cast members to provide different perspectives might be good. But if you find yourself completely alienating the overall base of people that you have watching your show too much, you might find that eventually they just feel like the whole show's not even really for them anymore. They pack up their bags and they head elsewhere. This is the kind of stuff that I think happens, but it's really early. We'll see what you think. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. I just thought it was real bad. Quick break. When we come back, we'll see what's happening with your comments, and I got a couple emails to get into. And most importantly, another awkward moment in football broadcasting happened this Sunday. It's been a weird time. Wait till you hear this one. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James McGill and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
Hey, folks, how are you? Anybody else watch that SNL? Yikes! Yikes! Courtney and I are sitting there watching it, and I'm finding myself like dozing off. She's on Instagram, and I'm trying to be charitable. I think I chuckled twice. I chuckled at the Super Bowl ice joke, and there was like one more in there. It's absolutely crazy and astonishing to me that there are probably hundreds of people behind this production, and nobody knew, hey, this is bad. But I'll tell you, I'm just being real. You know what one of the problems is? I'm just being honest. One of the problems is their audience, much like Kimmel and Stephen Colbert and several other people, their audience has turned into clapter. You know what got the biggest punch from the audience? The entire episode of SNL. The biggest reaction, the biggest cheers, the biggest applause was when they mentioned Zohran Mamdani, the Democratic Socialist who may well be the next mayor of New York. And when they said his name, it's like, ah! The whole crowd lights up and you're like, damn, we see who the audience is here, right? These are very left-wing political people who are sitting here in this audience waiting to hear their opinions tossed back at them, which mostly they get, right? That's one of the things they get. I think the way to fix these shows, and I mean this with all honesty, I'm not bullshitting. I'm not bullshitting. But I'll give them $1 billion idea. You want to fix all these shows? You want to fix Saturday Night Live? You want to fix Jimmy Kimmel? You want to fix these shows? Take them out of Los Angeles and New York City and have them broadcast from the Midwest or something. Have them broadcast from a city a little more off the beaten path. Santa Fe, New Mexico or something. Take them out of the Midwest. Bring them over to some rando city like that. And put them in front of a more average run-of-the-mill American audience. It would fix everything. 2 minutes and we're coming back. The show is super low energy. It was. I mean, yeah. A Sean rating of 2 chuckles. SNL is just New York theater kids who like the smell of their own farts. That's absolutely positively true for the most part. But it's a shame because it could be so much better. I mean, I think my problem is I love the format. I want more laughs on television. I want more laughs in content. I think it's important. When everybody's like screaming all this end of the world doomer stuff, like, what the hell? There's so many great things to make fun of out there. Ryan says, live from Joplin, Missouri. Yes. Yes. Unironically. Have them go on tour or something. Crisscross the United States doing this in theaters all over the country where your audience changes, right? When your audience changes, it's like being a stand-up comedian
there's two paths you can go down. One, you can say, I'm going to do like general jokes for everybody because I want everybody to be in my audience. Or two, you can absolutely go unhinged and lose your mind like Christopher Titus. And then you get the microphone and you're like, fuck Donald Trump, Orange Man bad, You go, is this fun? 1 minute. Have them on broadcast cable like John Oliver's show. I don't know if it's because John Oliver is a Brit or because of who he is. Even though he has obvious partisan leanings, he like manages to focus on different things. That's why I like him. It's not always the same thing all the time. Everything, like, there's more going on in the world and humanity than just Trump is bad. It's boring. And all these people with the same exact opinions. Boring. Boring. All right, NFL awkwardness coming up next.
AbbVie. You can depend on Florida farmers. Our farm is where we live and work. It's where we raise our families and provide for yours. When you shop for Florida-grown fruits and vegetables, look for local. Choose Fresh from Florida, the homegrown brand of Florida farmers.
Thanks to you, thousands of teachers now have the tools they need to thrive, and their students do too.
Oh my gosh, yes.
To receive the nomination, beyond words.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
We really appreciate it.
That is so exciting.
iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose, building brighter futures one classroom at a time.
I'm certain it's going to be well spent. It takes a lot of tools to make our program run.
And we're just getting started. Help keep the momentum going and nominate a teacher who's made a difference in your life at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Because you're never too old to learn something stupid. This is the News Junkie.
Our friend Amy Caulfield should be joining us before too long on the show. Always love that on a Monday. And we're going to hear from you. Send in your responses, your dispatches, and tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Emails over on the website. I want to talk about the story this weekend that really grabbed my attention because it was such a wild ride when they started talking about this NFL guy who was stabbed. And I don't know how much this popped up on your radar, but all of a sudden these stories came out and they're like, NFL analyst Mark Sanchez stabbed. He's in bad shape. He might die in the hospital. And people go, oh my God, what a world we're living in. It sure is crazy out there. And everybody kind of rallied around and started feeling bad for this guy. And, you know, poor dude got stabbed. That's unbelievable. And then the more about the story that came out, it was like, oh, hang on. Is Mark Sanchez the baddie here? Was he the...
This was someone defending themselves against him.
All of a sudden, it's like, oh, he just went ham on some, like, Uber food driver or something. And I'll get into the details in a second. But it led to yet another awkward broadcast moment. I forgot the last one that we played, but remember when, like, some football player had been arrested and they came back from break?
Wasn't it Tyreek Hill?
Or might have been. I don't
it
want
was
to screw
someone
it
in
up.
their domestic violence past.
Yeah. And they come back from break and they're like, what you're not seeing on the sideline is this NFL player because he was arrested on a domestic violence charge. And of course, we here at the NFL take domestic violence claims very seriously. And
so this brought to you by Hardee's.
And wait, am I wrong? Didn't they have a woman do that?
They had like a different person who wasn't the main commentators, and it happened to be a woman. But it was like they threw it to her to deliver the news, headline. I think probably so they didn't have to do it. It probably would have been more awkward if they tried to shoehorn it in there, and then go back to what they were doing.
Yeah, it was weird though, and like this was weird too. Fox starts their coverage during one of the games on Sunday, and one of the dudes isn't there because Mark Sanchez, this guy that was involved in this stabbing. Involved in a stabbing and altercation in downtown Indianapolis. He was supposed to be at the Raiders-Colts game, but the Raiders-Colts game starts, and obviously he's not there. He's in the hospital, for God's sake. and they've got to kind of explain what's going on. So they, again, awkwardly get into this. Here they go.
NFL free kick presented by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side.
Got to get those advertisements.
Nationwide.
Right
Kind
off the
of
jump.
singing it? No.
Yeah, and he's got some new dude with him, this broadcaster. He doesn't have his usual partner, Mark Sanchez, on account of the stabbing.
We welcome you to Indianapolis, Indiana, as the Las Vegas Raiders.
Also, Las Vegas? Oh, come on. Who says Las Vegas? Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Maybe I had it wrong.
I think we got it right.
Las Vegas is what I always think.
The Colts.
All right, here they go.
Thank you for being with us and for tuning in. I'm Chris Myers along with Brady Quinn.
All right, the Brady Quinn guy is the guy who's not obviously generally there. He isn't part of the broadcast crew, but he ends up, his absence is explained by this guy, Chris Myers.
Stepping in for Mark Sanchez, and obviously we all want to send out our thoughts and prayers to Mark and those involved in Friday's incident as we get ready for today's game. And this game should be a good one.
Yeah, right on by it. They're like, we our thoughts and prayers with his family for this incident.
To those involved, like particularly the person that he attacked?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes. Yeah, I mean, it does look like he attacked this person that was responsible.
At the time of this airing, I don't remember whether the Colts played at 1 or 4, but could it be possible that they said, okay, well, all we know is Mark Sanchez has been stabbed, and so we need a sub in?
Yeah,
and not know that he was in the wrong yet.
100%. Yeah, because it was back and forth throughout the whole morning.
And then did they go back and fix
it? Well, they're like, by the way, we want to say our thoughts and prayers. We're taking them back from Mark Sanchez's family. We would like those thoughts and prayers back.
We're going to move them over to the family of the Uber driver.
All right, let's get the details. It says former NFL quarterback and current Fox Sports analyst Mark Sanchez was arrested on Saturday after he was apparently stabbed in an overnight altercation in downtown Indianapolis. You know you've done something wrong if somebody stabs you and you get arrested. Sanchez, who was in Indianapolis to call Sunday's Raiders-Colts game, was charged with battery with injury, unlawful entry of a motor vehicle, and public intoxication, all misdemeanors. They said he was in a hospital and had not been booked into a detention center. He's in stable condition. Police said the prosecutor's office will make the final charging decision. Indianapolis police said earlier in the day they were investigating a confrontation that occurred around 12:30 a.m., so just after midnight, between two men, one of whom was hospitalized with stab wounds. Detectives reviewed footage about this, and then they said few other details were available. Okay, this is from the police report here. Okay, it says, according to the report, this is from a reporter named Max Lewis, the delivery man told police that something didn't work. Hang on. Let me go back here a little bit. Fox Sports has confirmed that the NFL quarterback, now TV analyst Mark Sanchez, was stabbed in downtown Indianapolis. Police say it stemmed from a fight, and they said he was the aggressor. Sanchez allegedly attacked a food delivery man after he told the driver he couldn't park in the alley and needed to leave. The driver told the cops that Sanchez began to follow him and threaten him. He said Sanchez then attacked him, and he fought back using pepper spray. According to the report, the delivery man told police it didn't work, and when Sanchez continued to attack him, he used a knife to defend himself.
Jeez.
We're told the driver had a significant injury to his face and had to be taken to the local hospital. The report says Sanchez was transported initially in critical condition and had to be taken to surgery. They said he hadn't been interviewed by the police as of this. I'm sure that he has now. Police say they reviewed surveillance footage of what happened, and the case will be forwarded to the prosecutor's office. Now, I don't know if this is a clue or not, but saying that the pepper spray didn't work is usually an indicator that the person was messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you are tweaked out on some sort of drugs, sometimes you pepper spray the person and it doesn't affect them.
I thought it was always like when you tase the person, it doesn't affect them. But even if you're on
I've seen both.
PCP, your eyes won't react to something like that?
I guess not. I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen where like somebody goes pepper spray them, and then they'll like hit them right in the eyes, and the person will just keep coming at you.
Somebody in the comments of what you were just showing, I think you're on a different page now, but somebody said, I think this person doesn't believe the driver because they said something like, "Yep, that's the one." Unless Sanchez was on bath salts and wearing a gas mask, that makes no sense. I maced the guy and it didn't work, so I had to stab him. I was just parking my car.
He's saying nope. He doesn't believe the story. Maybe it goes back the other way again. He's a victim. They got to cut back in. Our thoughts and prayers once again go over to Mark Sanchez.
It's an umbrella of thoughts and prayers to everyone
If
in
you
the
follow
world.
our thoughts and prayers on X, you'll know where they lie at any given moment. Does pepper spray expire?
I don't know.
I believe so. I mean, they have an expiration date. I think a year or two after, it's still going to be effective. But a 10-year-old pepper spray, don't know is going to be effective.
Let me ask TNJAI. This will know for sure what's going on here. Hang on. Why is it? Everything is trying to connect to my phone now. Hello. Does pepper spray expire?
Hey there. Yes, pepper spray does expire. Most pepper spray canisters have a shelf life of about 2 to 4 years.
Oh, really?
After that, the effectiveness can decrease.
Really?
So it's a good idea to replace it when it reaches its expiration date to ensure it works when you need it.
So what did they say? 2 to 4
years.
Yeah, that's not even that long. It's not effective after that point. So it could have been that happened too. I don't know, but bad day for Mark Sanchez, and he wasn't there for the broadcast. When we come back, who will be here for the broadcast. We still got to get into the whole Netflix thing with the Ed Gein series and a bunch of emails, but we're going to clear the deck here for our friend Amy Caulfield of Fox 35. She's the best of the best, and she'll be with us in just a matter of moments, and that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
There's a couple accidents blocking all lanes that might be affecting your ride here. State Road 46, eastbound and westbound lanes at I-4. Those are blocked. On World Center Drive, westbound at I-4. All lanes are blocked there. State Road 520 at Maxim Parkway. Eastbound lanes are blocked, and we got some scattered showers heading throughout the area that might be affecting your ride. Travel with caution. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Hello. Soul Mic activated. Welcome to Behind the Scenes on the show. We're in a commercial break. We'll be back momentarily. I have some breaking news. Breaking news.
Rates are improving. That makes the terms even more favorable. You want to find out how it works? Net Mortgage Guy Don will get you some numbers and explain the details. And then you decide.
Mark Sanchez, who we were just talking about, is now facing a felony charge for his role in this altercation that we were talking about on Saturday that led to him being stabbed. A felony charge for former NFL star and broadcaster Mark Sanchez. And, I mean, that must mean, I would be very surprised if the NFL didn't have some sort of comment on his employment there. Former NFL quarterback and current analyst Mark Sanchez is facing a felony charge for his role in an altercation that led to him being stabbed. The prosecutor said additional police investigation led to more severe charges. Sanchez had initially been charged with 3 misdemeanors as part of the incident. They've upgraded that. He's facing a charge of felony battery involving serious bodily injury, which carries a sentence of between 1 and 6 years in prison. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The dispute began when he was in a fight over a parking space with a 69-year-old man. He's out here fighting 69-year-olds. Unbelievable. Okay, we're back in 2 minutes. And when we're back, we've got our lovely friend, you can see her on the grid, Amy Caulfield will be joining us. They're getting her all set up. We'll find out everything happening in the news with Fox's Amy Caulfield. They got a new setup going on. Glenn says he's the same dude that was involved in the butt fumble when he played for the New York Jets. I remember that. I remember that clearly. I thought that there was a higher charge when that battery is against an elderly person. Odd question for you. At what year do you become elderly? Is 69 elderly? 1 minute, we're coming back. Kevin with a decent point. Kevin says his net worth is about $40 million. He'll buy his way out. I mean, that's probably true. But it's interesting to see that this went from like, oh my God, he's the victim, we should have prayer vigils, to, oh, actually, he might have been the aggressor, here's some misdemeanor charges, to, nope, felony charges for him. He got in a fight over a parking spot. Can he hang on to the job, though, question mark? Send.
How are you? How was your weekend?
Can you hear me okay? This is weird. I feel weird without my, I usually have an earpiece in, but you can hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
.com/radio. That's sonobello.com/radio. sonobello.com/radio.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime. One dime down at RC Hill Mitsubishi in DeLand. Just go to rchill.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got questions after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart Radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Holiday magic. Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. WIN. WIN. That's WIN. Enter it now at realradio.fm and get a little holiday magic. And may your efforts bear fruit.
Real Radio 104.1. Forever at the crossroads between viral news and total chaos.
I know. We're going to get to Tuesday together, and then the next thing you know, we'll be celebrating the weekend again. It's just that easy when you hang out with us. Learn more about the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my favorite part of the week. It's yours, too. I know it is. It's because finally we get some professionalism around here.
Finally, we get to celebrate. Little hint of it.
We get to celebrate a hard worker around these parts. It's the time that we get to hang out with our friend Amy Caulfield from Fox 35. There she is.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Amy, how are you? How was your weekend?
I'm good. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yeah, it looks like you're in a new spot there, huh?
Yeah. Okay, so we're under total renovation around here. So basically the way we did this was like we were over on one side of the building while they worked on the new studio and the new newsroom. And now that the studio and the newsroom are done, now we moved over to the new side of the building, but so now the old side where I used to do my talks with you is now under demo.
Oh, it never ends.
Yeah.
Do you get to help? Do they let you help with the demo? Just like blow off some steam? That was the fun part
I know.
about.
I always think about like those home improvement shows where you get out the sledgehammer and the big goggles and you're like, wow. I know it actually would help me because I had a long weekend. So.
Oh, did you? What happened? What's going on?
No, it was good. It's just that I ended up working a pseudo double on Friday because everybody's off. You know how it is. Like somebody always has to fill in. Like that's just the way it is, right? You know what I mean? Like you guys understand. Like somebody's not there, somebody has to step up and fill that role.
So you did the
John
evening
and Luann
news?
Yes. So John and Luann were both off on Fridays. So that meant I did the morning show and then I went home and then probably against my better judgment, I took a long nap. So then I woke up like really groggy.
Oh, and you feel
then
like
had to come in and do the 5 and the 6.
Yeah.
But and as you guys know too, you guys are used to being on during the daytime, but like I'm always accustomed to saying good morning because I work in the morning, and so a couple times I had to like correct myself.
It's nighttime. It's nighttime.
Good morning at night. That's the worst.
I'm sure people were very, very understanding. At least I hope that they were in that moment. I want to let me take the temperature here. Something I don't know about Amy Caulfield. Are you into any of the true crime stuff that gets so many people's attention, Amy Caulfield?
I love that stuff. Yeah, it's awesome. And it's funny too, because I watched the docuseries the other day. What was it called? It's called like Unknown Caller, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
You guys seen that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And even though I do the news, I had forgotten about who the person was who was the unknown caller. Okay. So I truly watched it as like somebody who's like, I don't know who it's going to be. And I'm like watching, trying to figure it out the whole time. And then they get to the end and they say who it is.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ruin it for other people, but holy, you know how you have that moment where you like have to call everyone you know? I was just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I got to call everyone I know and be like, have you watched this? Because
and that
this
reveal
is
that reveal after the entire, 3 episodes prior to that, that gave in full detail all of the text messages those kids had received and how bizarre and graphic they were.
Yeah.
Raunchy.
To know who was sending that is
the thing,
wild.
Sabrina, and I think that was the worst part for me is that I was going back in my brain and trying to recall, like the ones that told the girl she should kill herself.
Yeah.
And some of the like horrific things they said about how she looks. And
the
when
sex
you go
stuff
back
with
and
the
you think about,
boyfriend.
yeah, I mean, it's just like the craziness of like then the boyfriend moves on and now stalking the new boyfriend's mothers of the girl. I mean, it was. If y'all haven't seen it, it's crazy.
And then the fact that she participates in the docuseries thinking like she's still that delusional.
Well, yeah, that's giving a little something away. But you're right. There were a lot of people who participated. So yes, she was. Let's just say she was the last person I would have expected.
Well, it wasn't even just that she participated and then they did the reveal. They're like, here's the person sending these horrible texts. It was that they said, well, didn't you feel bad sending these texts telling this person to kill themselves? And she's like, no, because I knew they would come to me and they have a great person to talk them out of any feelings that they might be having. And you're like, hold on, wait, what? Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, that though, that's like entry level true crime.
Is that entry level true crime?
Compared to what people were watching this weekend, okay? The series that became #1 this weekend on Netflix about this guy, Ed Gein, and the fact that Courtney was so enthralled with this story has me very worried. I barely slept last night. I don't know what to do with myself. Is there stuff like... Are there things where you watch something and you go, that's too much for me, I have to turn this off?
So no, if I start it, like if it's a horror movie, if it's fake, I'm like, whatever. But like, okay, did you see the one? It's about the British couple. Their last name is West. It's like Rose and something West.
Yeah.
And this is the one where the couple was like abducting girls.
Yeah.
And then murdering and sexually assaulting them and then burying them in the house.
Yeah.
And they had all the kids. Like that was probably the most disturbing one that I've ever watched. But no, like once I start watching it, I kind of have to finish it. Like I can't. So what's this one you're talking about? Ed Gein?
Ed Gein is the story. It's called Monster. But they've done a bunch of different ones in this series of Monster.
The same one as the Menendez brothers and Jeffrey Dahmer, Ryan Murphy.
Ryan Murphy,
but
that's right.
This was his most graphic one yet. And just when you thought the show was over, you had 2 more episodes. I mean, it was.
So should I watch it or no?
I don't know. It really was a lot to take in.
A lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Silence of the Lambs, for example?
Uh-huh.
That was the most, that was the least graphic part as far as references.
Like wearing people's body parts.
Oh, you're going to have a great time. Do it with
And
the
they
fam.
show it?
Yeah.
They show it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's too much. I don't even feel comfortable telling you about what happens in this series.
Okay.
That's how.
I got you.
It's a real.
You're gonna
thing.
love it.
That's a ringing endorsement for me.
It's a lot.
Okay, what's the series called so I can look it up though?
Monster, the Ed Gein story, Gein.
Yeah, my favorite part of it is, I don't know, we might be able to, like at some point during the show, I'll bring up the audio of it, because the actor who played this role, he did a great job playing this horrible person that I'm not even sure we should be making shows about.
Charlie Hunnam.
Oh, Hunnam.
Charlie Hunnam. And they didn't know too much about what this guy sounded like. And a lot of people are starting to watch this and making fun of it immediately because he picks a voice that is like 98% Winnie the Pooh. That's the voice that he ends up going.
I'll wear my face. No problem.
Yeah, it's a very like soft voice saying like the most horrible things one could ever imagine. It's
What
it's
in
a
the
lot.
Sam Hill was that?
All right, let's go in another direction here. What's grabbing your attention today?
Oh gosh. Well, okay. Since we're talking about things that are really gross, I was going to tell you guys about this story that we sat in the news meeting and we actually said this story is so gross we might not be able to report it.
Uh-oh.
So, but since we're on the topic, before I switch gears,
you can report it with us.
What's that, Celine?
You can report it with us. We don't, we won't shoot down anything.
You guys have different stomachs. I get it. So this is a Florida firefighter, a woman who has been arrested, accused of throwing close to 100 tampons on the lawn of her ex, and she painted them red so that they appeared to be
used.
Used.
Oh, see, that was going to be my first question. If they were like unwrapped, then one, that's a waste of money, and two, you could still put them back in a box and be set for the rest of the year.
I don't want to go in this direction too far, but I will say this is lazy. This is truly lazy. The real way to done this would have been to collect them over time.
That would have taken forever.
Would have taken many months. There was how many? There was more than 100.
More than 100. Yeah.
This woman. So she's in trouble, this lady, huh?
Yeah. So she's an Orange County firefighter. It happened in Volusia County. It was actually the new girlfriend of the ex-boyfriend who's the one that reported it. It happened just last week. Volusia County Sheriff's offices, they were flagged down by a woman who said she wanted to ask about an incident that had taken place at their home. The woman said she and her boyfriend came home on September 30th to a large number of red painted tampons scattered across the front yard. It says the couple then reviewed their security footage. They saw a dark colored pickup truck slowly passing. The couple said the truck appeared to make sure that no other cars were around before circling back around and then seen throwing the tampons onto the yard. The video then shows a woman running on foot into the yard and throwing even more.
Did
and
it
they
rain
believed
after
it to be
that?
the ex-girlfriend. Yeah.
My favorite part of this is you probably come up with this while you maybe have a couple of drinks in your system. You know, I'm going to get them back. I'm going to throw 100 tampons into my ex's yard. And then it gets real when the cops show up and you have to explain, like, well, why was it that you did that? You're like, oh, my God, now I'm going to be on the news. Now I'm getting arrested for this.
Yeah, because now there's a mugshot. You know what I mean? But it does. I'm sure at the time you're thinking this is no different than like TPing someone's house, or this is no different. You know what I mean? Or throwing like, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, it's obviously much worse than that. However, we've all like TP'd somebody's house at one point in our lifetime.
Have we?
Whoa,
Like, I don't know. I did when I was a kid. Like, it's fun, you know. You get the toilet paper, you throw it up in the tree, it makes a mess, whatever. It's like you don't really think much of it. But like this, she was arrested on charges of misdemeanor stalking.
Yeah, it looks like it. Holy cow! Well,
and Watcha gets her period, and she's like, I don't have any tampons. Damn it.
Well, that's the other thing, Sabrina. You bring up another good point. Like they are expensive, and it just seems like, you know,
a waste.
What a waste. What an absolute waste.
A lot of waste.
Sean's method would have taken 8 years.
Yeah.
But it would have been worth it because it would have been real. All right. And
God. All right.
If you're going to do it, you might as well be gross all the way. Okay.
So on a more serious note, you were saying, Amy.
On a more serious note, they did open up the Stardust Racers this weekend at Epic. You guys, I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Because this is a story that if you read the comments, which I'm sure you guys have, and I know you guys have been talking a lot about it, the comments tend to be majority in favor of opening the ride back up. So we're in the middle of the news conference right now with the attorney for the family, Ben Crump. It started at 11:30 this morning. It was actually held in Orlando. And just talking about their displeasure with Universal for making the decision to reopen the ride. For those of your listeners who are not familiar with what happened about 3 weeks ago, this young man, 32-year-old Kevin Zavala, got onto the ride. He had a spinal condition, which he was in a wheelchair. Apparently, some of the folks who work at Universal did help him to get on the ride. When he got off the ride, he was completely unresponsive, died from blunt force trauma.
Yeah.
So one of the changes that Universal has now made is that the ride attendants will not be allowed to help you get onto the ride if you are unable to do it yourself.
Yeah, here's what kind of sucks. No, not kind of sucks. Here's what does suck. Now, people who are paralyzed, who can't get up themselves and get on the ride, can no longer ride it. They're no longer able to ride it, and this is because of this lawsuit, and it's because of all of the stuff that led us to this point. They're like, well, we got to make sure that we don't find ourselves in the same position again. So if you can't physically get up and get on the roller coaster, you can't ride it anymore, which sucks for a lot of people. That's kind of lame. But I get why they're doing it. I never thought for a second that they were going to keep this thing closed down. It's ridiculous.
Not with the amount of money they spent on it, no way.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Ben Crump is a fantasist. He's out there in loony land with half of the stuff that he's running right now in an attempt to squeeze and bilk as much money out of Universal as he can. That's exactly what this guy has going on. Most of the people that I've seen have said, look, I think anybody can agree this was a horrible, tragic accident, but that's what it was. It wasn't some thing where this company was being negligent. It just was a terrible thing that happened, unfortunately.
Well, in juxtapose that with the other big case that Ben Crump had here in Orlando, which is the Tyree Sampson case, right, where he fell off of the ride down at Icon Park. In that particular case, the seat was loosened up or retrofitted to allow Tyree to get on that ride, and it was not secure, and he fell to his death.
It's crazy.
And so the two cases, I think, I'm sure from the family's standpoint, they thought, well, Ben Crump was successful with that case, and this case is similar, if not the same. But I think, from a legal standpoint, it's not the same in the sense that, right, nobody just took the time to loosen up the seat so that, Zavala could get on it. I mean, there was no, I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, to me, they're not the same.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. And one thing we can do to see where people are at on this, and how they legitimately feel about this issue is they opened it up today. And right now there's a 3-hour line to wait to get onto Stardust Racers.
Wow.
Now, do we think that says something? To me, it says people don't really think this is some deadly, crazy roller coaster that there's a good chance that they're going to die unless we got another big problem on our hands.
Or there's just some sadistic people that think, you know what? It's going to be the ultimate thrill right now, guys.
When you guys said Epic Universe, I didn't realize how epic it was over here. This is unbelievable. I think that the whole thing is like pretty overblown at the moment. But yeah, very interesting to see that open back up today. And there's a 3-hour line.
3 hours. Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah. And it opened up on Friday or Saturday evening, rather. And yeah, and I think similar numbers on Saturday evening too when it opened up, Sean. And I'm sure, for Epic, it was probably causing a downturn in attendance because, people go to these parks and they want the opportunity to ride all the rides. Do we know when we go to these parks that sometimes the rides shut down and you can't control that? But going into the day, knowing that the ride is shut down, would that deter you from wanting to go? Probably.
It would deter me because I've been on the ride and it was awesome. It was a really great roller coaster.
I haven't even been to the park yet. So what is it? How would you compare the ride, C-Lane, with like maybe another coaster in town that you're like, it's similar to what?
Remember Dueling Dragons that used to be at Islands of Adventure where there's two roller coasters, two different tracks, and they're kind of, dueling around. In this case, Stardust Racers, they're racing each other. And it's just a much more high-tech, more advanced, like the newest.
And longer, I feel like.
Yeah, a little bit. But the newest roller coaster technology possible, another kind of incarnation of that. It's fast. I found it to be very smooth. But it's just, another dueling coaster.
Wild.
Very fun.
Yeah.
I would recommend it.
A lot of people would. I haven't heard anything but good things. Except there's one bad review now. But, I hadn't heard many bad things about it before this. Anything else grabbing your attention out there?
Well, just you guys were having some issues right now with the beaches. Any of your listeners who live along the coast knows that there's almost no beach right now just because we're actually what's called a king tide, which is where, the moon impacts our tides. And so the relationship to the moon and the sun right now is creating almost no beach. And so, millions and millions of dollars are spent on beach renourishment, not only here in Central Florida, but all along the coast. I don't know if you guys saw the video of the houses going out into the ocean in Hatteras. Part of that happened because they refused to renourish the beaches there. They were like, it's a waste of money, and we're not going to spend millions of dollars doing that. Is it a waste of money? We're going to be talking about it just because we are seeing the sand go out. And, I don't know, like, is that a good use of taxpayer dollars?
Didn't they just dump a bunch of sand there not too long ago? Like they brought
they
more
did. And so what they do, they dredge it out in the ocean. They bring it in. They dump it on the sand. We saw after Hurricane Nicole, I guess was that 2 years ago, Hurricane Nicole, and some of those houses in Wilbur by the Sea quite literally just went out, fell right off the sand and into the ocean. And so they're trying to prevent that from happening. But I don't know.
I feel when I hear things like this, and I know this is like kind of rude to certain people, but I don't really care. I feel like this is the equivalent of building a house in the middle of the interstate and then getting surprised when there's cars whizzing around you. You build a house in a place where it doesn't have a long lifespan, okay? And then afterwards you're like, well, we got to build all this up. We've got to make sure that sometimes it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't really understand what the thought process is there, but I mean, you can't really fight back against nature in some of these ways, but I guess we're going to try. I guess we're going to spend a bunch of money on it.
Some places are trying, and some are saying we're not going to waste our money. So it's a hot topic right now. And if you just pull up any beach camera, you'll see there's like virtually no beach right now. It's just like no walking on the beach today.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll stay away from the beach just for today then. She's the best of the best. She's probably going to go watch the Ed Gein story now.
I am.
And then when she gets to a couple of the scenes, don't eat. Do not eat.
Okay, great.
All right? Do not eat while you're watching this, Amy Caulfield.
I'll group text you guys.
She's the best of the best. We love her, and you're going to, too. If you've never watched Good Day Orlando, what's going on in your world? I call you to do this, and it's the best way to start your day. Everybody out there who's listening to this, no matter where you are, I want you to follow Amy Caulfield on all social media platforms because she's the best, and we love her. Amy Caulfield.
Love you guys.
Love you, Amy.
Have a great week.
You too. There she goes. Sounding great in your new studio, by the way, or at least temporary studio for now. When we come back, we'll get into some other reactions over the weekend. I got a couple of emails that we got to hit on. We'll see what was happening at this whole press conference about the roller coaster. There's a lot to do in a short amount of time to do. Well, we've got plenty of time, don't we? We'll make it all happen and worthwhile. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
We got some scattered showers moving across the area that might be affecting your ride. Expect some rain.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Behind the Scenes. It's a rainy day outside the studio. Bit of a rainy day out there. Be safe if it's raining where you are.
This report is sponsored by Gorilla Tape. Get storm ready with strength you can trust.
Storm's coming. Prep with Gorilla Tape. It's tough, weather resistant, and sticks to rough and uneven surfaces. Patch, hold, seal, and protect. Gorilla Tape holds strong in wind and rain. Gorilla Tape.
Hello?
For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
When was the last time you opened your power bill and thought, man,
Why are you so cold?
It's cold.
Can we turn the air conditioning up 2 degrees then?
I can.
Okay.
What do you want for dinner?
Imagine if instead of
I think you know what I want for dinner.
utility company every month, you could take control of your energy. That's why you call solar installers a Florida friend. You call them up, they will design.
I don't know spaghetti.
your home, tailored towards your
What do you want?
I don't know.
You can lock in lower costs.
What about
predictable bills for years to come? Right now, federal tax credit makes that.
What about something fantastical?
Than ever.
Fantastic.
Something astronomically insane?
Do you want it to be low calorie or high calorie?
Oh, low calorie, I guess. Never mind. All right, fine. Whatever you want to make is fine by me.
I'll think about it.
Okay. Bye. There she goes. Biscotti like a big boy? Come on. Jay Henson says, did you fix your display yet? You talk about this one? I don't know why it's being so temperamental. Now, I know it needs a good dusting, and I'll work on that. And for some reason, it's being wonky on the internet. But we'll get it fixed. There we go. Let me arrange that a little better. So many spam texts. Okay, what was I going to tell you? Hang on. Hang on. Oh, we also got this story about the judge's house that was burning. And then now, because we're 2025 in it, people afterwards say, well, was it because of the political stances of this judge or the judicial stances and rulings of this judge? Did somebody light the judge's house on fire? We don't know, but we'll hit on that at some point here today. C-Lane has the full 911 call. He got it from the cops. He has the full 911 call from the Disney Springs scuba robbery, and we're going to play that in jury duty today. Get subs? I usually do subs for dinner. You know what I mean? Not that I'm fully against it. We need to know what the burger of the day is. It'll come up here eventually. I think it's running good. You got the Nyan cat for now, but I think it's running good. Thank you for hanging out with us on Monday. If you're new around here, hit subscribe or hit like. That's a helpful thing. And if you want to be helpful, do a helpful thing. Hit the like button over on the stream. Kevin says 25-year high school reunion this Saturday. Doing a 3-day fast to drop a few pounds. Godspeed, friend. Godspeed. 25-year high school reunion. Now, I went to a school called Palm Beach Lakes. Wasn't a great experience. Wasn't a great experience going to Palm Beach Lakes. I went to several high schools, but that was one of them for a time. And if I went back to Palm Beach Lakes for the 25-year anniversary, I'm quite sure I would remember about 0 people. About 0 people would be on my radar at that event. All right, 2 minutes and we're coming back. Wasson could probably stand to skip a dinner or two. True. Hurtful, but true. Do hot dogs for dinner? Well, every time I try hot dogs, I love Chicago dogs. I love hot dogs. Every once in a while I get a craving for a hot dog. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Every time I get hot dogs, I'm like, what is this horse shit? What is this, like, weenie dog with no snap? Bun that's too soft? Not enough toppings? What is going on in this world? Russell Brand has announced that he is going to be taking some time off of doing whatever it is that Russell Brand does. He says, I'm taking some time off to reflect on how, or even if, I could be of any use in this fraught, tense, and often ugly space. So much hate, so many lies, and now death. I know this miraculous technology can be used to serve Jesus, he says. I pray we will work out how. He's not wrong, you know. He's not wrong. The internet is a vile cesspool. It's a disgusting place. And so much of it now is full of those very political people. And I don't like those very political people because they make everything about them and their very political things. And to be honest, it's obnoxious. And we'll get into a little bit of that with the Chicago ICE situation this weekend in a bit. First, let's see what you're emailing about.
From scores and reactions to interviews and hot takes, it's all at your fingertips on the iHeartRadio app.
Appreciate you taking my call, guys.
Lock in with your favorite teams with play-by-play, podcasts, and local stations where you can react and join the conversation. Sports on iHeartRadio, where fans live it.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Holiday magic. Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Win. WIN. That's win. Enter it now at realradio.fm and get a little holiday magic. And may your efforts bear fruit.
Home of the world famous Game of Magnets. This is the
Don't worry, we'll help you through all the rest of the days in this week before we're right at the weekend again. And you can learn more about the show. Follow along with everything we have going on over at thenewsjunkie.com. Tips, TIPS at thenewsjunkie.com. Bex emails the show about the Riyadh Comedy Fest. That's that comedy festival that was going down in Saudi Arabia. I don't know if it's over. It might be over by now. It went on for a couple of weeks and stirred up a lot of controversy. We talked about it on the show. Hi, News Junkie. The Comedy Fest has been a hot topic lately, but I just wanted to mention that a lot of comedians have performed and toured in cities like the UAE, United Arab Emirates, before. Dave Chappelle, Andrew Schultz, etc., and gotten away with joking about the topics that are now restricted in the Comedy Festival. Andrew Schultz has some clips on YouTube where he jokes about the culture, which I thought were pretty funny, and he's still alive for now. I understand the fest is different circumstances since they were invited by the country of Saudi Arabia, but if they performed there before on their own accord, why wouldn't they do it again with a bigger paycheck? Anyway, love the show, Bex. Thank you, Bex. Also, it was like for so many people just about really the paycheck. Like I saw, and to his credit, he's the one who has the biggest balls doing this. The idea that Pete Davidson, whose dad died in 9/11, is going to Saudi Arabia for a paycheck is... You know, there's some things there to consider and think about. But he even said, Pete Davidson, when he was talking about this, he was like, I hear people talking about it, and I go, yeah, you know, that's fair. That's a fair point. And then I hear how much money they're willing to pay me. And I'm like, all right, see you later on the plane to Riyadh. Yep, see you later. So thank you for that. Over to Christopher, who says, the Monster Ed Gein or Gein show on Netflix. He goes, you got to see how they portray his voice versus how he really sounded. Otherwise, it's a delightful Ryan Murphy production so far. Sir, you concern me just as much as Courtney concerns me by saying things like that Ed Gein series, the top one on Netflix right now, is delightful. There is nothing delightful about a man who keeps women's sexual organs in a drawer in his house. There is nothing delightful about, like, a lot of the things that happened in that movie.
Just a couple dried up vulvas.
There's nothing delightful about, at risk of spoiling something, a man who gets into fornicating with corpses, then telling his real life girlfriend that she has to get into an ice bath because her body is too warm when they're attempting to make love. He likes them a bit colder nowadays. Nothing delightful about that.
That shook me. That particular part that you did not reference for the sake of not spoiling. And then there's some parts where I'm like, Charlie looks hot in lingerie. He's got a tight bod.
Well, you know what's crazy to me? There's a woman who plays this horrific killer's girlfriend who also happens to be into this insane stuff he's doing. And she was a real person. Her name is Adeline Watkins. And boy, did Adeline Watkins get the most friendly casting I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because Courtney was like, oh, I want to see what this person really looked like. This is the actual woman that was with the murderer and then the woman who was cast in the role. And
the bangs make sense.
I hope that one day, if they ever do the Sean Wasson story, that I get this friendly of casting, folks, because she is, not a looker necessarily, the actual person. And then there's a perfectly attractive woman who they have play the role of her in this film. Very, very kind, very gentle. The guy who plays Ed Gein kind of looks like him, though. They did a good job.
Ed Gein was that cut when he took his shirt off, but
maybe he's like a little bit like more in shape and a little better looking. But he's like, I think he looks like him.
You know, I want to give a couple days for people to watch the whole thing, but you know, it involves later on because when it comes to Ed Gein, and I think anyone that was watching it, you start to search on Google to see what is fictionalized and what's real, and what he inspired both in Hollywood and with other serial killers. And then I found myself Googling something I never thought I would, which is first name, last name, boobs, ? Which turns out is 100% real.
Yeah. This guy, you've probably never heard of his name, the guy who's in this Netflix series about all of his murders. It's the #1 show on Netflix right now. He apparently inspired Psycho. He apparently inspired the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
And
I think it's just
Bill,
like
Silence of the Lambs.
Buffalo Bill, Silence of the Lambs. I go like, this dude was like the genesis for a lot of early horror movies. They took him. Here he is versus the actor who played him. I think it's pretty, it's like, that makes sense. They kind of look like one another, these
Ed
two.
is very dead in the eyes, even in a black and white photo, and good on Charlie.
I think they look similar enough, but the girlfriend is like not even in the same ballpark.
What do you call that thing he's wearing? Is that a neckerchief?
I would call it an ascot, but that's probably wrong. I don't know what an ascot actually is, C-Lane, so I could be wrong about that, but I would say ascot.
Looks like one of those scout things. Like, didn't you have those in Weeblos or something?
Yes, yeah, back in the day, or still for some of you, depending, where you're at in your life. But a lot of people hated
all
that
you
series.
Weeblos out there, shouts out.
Current Weeblos, tough times. People are saying this is terrible, this is outrageous, and I do think there's a very interesting conversation about series like this Netflix one to have. And that conversation is, should we really be making these stories that almost, in a way, glamorize what happened with these people?
Really glamour to it.
I think it does. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like
His
making
crimes were heinous.
Of course they were. So why are we making series about them? Why do we choose these people and turn them into these legendary characters even more so than they otherwise were? Especially this guy. I don't know. It's just like he was so gross and so bad that it seems even worse to take this and make a bunch of money off of it to me.
And it wasn't his first rodeo.
There are certain people you wouldn't do this with. Like, I don't think they would do this with the Toy Box Killer. I don't think that they would do this with some of these other people because they're so disgusting that you would feel bad glamorizing them, or at least just like doing them the service of portraying them as infamous on the big screen or the small screen. But we'll take your thoughts on that as well over at thenewsjunkie.com. When we come back the next episode with Sabrina, what's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? This country is divided, so the only thing, obviously, to bring us together is sexy, oily, slow-motion reboots, if you know what I'm talking about. Taylor, and all the updates on the life of a filthy rich showgirl and her fiancé's penis. Plus, Ike Turner changes his name to Ike Turned Jr. because his big wheels stopped turning. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
You have a good turtleneck head. I do not think I have a good turtleneck head. Jack has an okay turtleneck head.
But Jim in one would look like a roll-on deodorant.
How dare you, sir?
The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
Happy Monday, Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, we are going to be expecting additional rounds of heavy rain to move into Central Florida. So be sure to keep that umbrella and rain jacket handy, as I'm sure you have all weekend long. We'll be expecting the heavies of the rain to arrive close to midday and into the early afternoon before things do taper off ever so slightly by this evening. As we head towards middle parts of this week, though, slightly lower chances of rain at a 30% chance. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you.
Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275.
Hey, folks. How you doing? 3 minutes and we're back live on the show. That's right. Only 3 short minutes and the action continues with the next episode. Imagine that. What a world. How are you doing? Huh? I hope you're well. Let's check in with Mr. Predicto and see if this is going to be a good week. All right, Mr. Predicto, give us your wisdom. Is this going to be a good week? Tell us.
The answer cannot be found at this moment.
I want an answer, though. Is it going to be a good week, Mr. Predicto?
Highly doubtful.
That is not good. That is not good news. Highly doubtful?
As the old saying goes, size matters. At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff. But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
I always thought an ascot was a butt that you sleep in, like an ascot. Oh. It's Monday. It's okay. It's Monday.
Morgan & Morgan.
I'll allow it.
Your family. Injured? Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you. Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft curve of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
By the way, an interesting moment coming up, I think, this week for Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. And I'll tell you why. There's a very simple bill coming across his desk that does exactly what I said California and other states should do. It takes people who steal copper wire from homes or public spaces and take the stolen copper wire to these metal recycle facilities to get money for it. It takes it and it starts to criminalize those people. It makes it so the facility buying the stolen copper wire has to get all the details about the person that sold it to them and hold those details on file and the copper wire to make sure we can hold people accountable. It's the easiest win in the world, but the governor of California might not sign it. This is one of those things where you see, are you on the side of the criminals or the cops? Because we want to make, I hope, our communities better. It's an easy win, but he may not sign it. We'll see what he does. All right, we're coming back for the next episode.
Only one app puts the live radio dial in your pocket
and lets you save your favorite stations, playlists, and podcasts as presets.
iHeartRadio is your all-access pass to the audio that moves you.
Get what millions already have. The free iHeartRadio app.
The #1 app for radio.
He's smiling, and that alone should scare you. This
things happening in the world of entertainment and beyond. Quick update for you on something we were talking about a little bit earlier on the show. And again, if you want to subscribe to the podcast, learn more about the show, go to thenewsjunkie.com. We were talking about Mark Sanchez. That's the NFL commentator guy. And right as we were talking about it, the news came in that he is now facing a felony charge for his role in this altercation that led to him being stabbed. All right. So not even just what they first said was that it was going to be a misdemeanor charge or two, and that he was going to be held accountable for this incident that started with him being a victim and he was stabbed. And it's like, nope, we're flipping that around. Now, not only is it a misdemeanor, but he's facing felony charges and a couple of years behind bars potentially.
Hey, 1 to 6 is the norm for that.
So I don't know if he even keeps his job, but like, what a roller coaster ride this has been. From like, oh no, thoughts and prayers for this NFL announcer, Mark Sanchez. He was stabbed in an attack and he might die. And like, no, he's pulling through. He's doing better, you guys. Your thoughts and prayers are working. And like, hold on. Actually, we think he might have done something to deserve the stabbing. And then hold on. No. A misdemeanor charge. And now a felony charge for this guy. Just an awkward weekend for Mr. Mark Sanchez. Partied a little too hard. Flew a little too close to the sun. Let's do it. Here we go. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
Hey, ¿tú quieres papitas fritas con tu Big Mac?
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina.
Hey, smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don, thatmortgageguyDon.com, and of course, the On Loans Radio Show. It is your time, perhaps, to buy yourself your first dream home or refinance that beautiful home you already own. Looking to reverse mortgages or HELOCs or get cash out and start a business or expand the one you have. Everything that can be very confusing if you're doing it on your own. But when you're working with That Mortgage Guy Don, it is a breeze because he's an expert, but he's also your buddy and he's looking out for you. So start the process today by going to thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
25 years ago, the original one of these.
CSI?
That is right. God damn it. I was trying to do the whole Horatio Kane rips off glasses thing.
That was a catastrophe.
It turns out those are pretty stuck on my head with the headphones. Am I right?
He did it with such ease, though.
He doesn't have headphones on every time. But yeah, it was 25 years ago on this day. It premiered on CBS, set, and of course, and how did the announcer say it? Las Vegas?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. In Las Vegas, Nevada.
And it featured The Who as the theme song. That was a theme song to, in my opinion, the best CSI Miami. And Baba O'Reilly was the theme for New York. I Can See for Miles was used for CSI Cyber. And then all of them went away.
Baba O'Reilly, also the theme song for the wildly acclaimed Ice Panda.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Of course. And someone is now up there in the sky with Ice Panda. Or did Ice Panda die? What was that?
We have not killed
TBD?
them off yet.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. This person is dead and meeting his mom and dad. And that is Ike Turner Jr.
Oh, wouldn't have got that.
Tina and Ike Turner's son has died at the age of 67.
Aww.
It has been confirmed over the weekend. The musician's niece, Jacqueline Bullock, told TMZ that Turner Jr. had died on October 4th in L.A., just one day after his birthday.
Oh. No, that mean he partied too hard on his birthday?
I don't know. Or just it worked out time-wise.
I was randomly listening to Tina Turner before I saw that news.
Did you kill him?
No.
The musician had suffered from kidney failure after several years of ill health. His niece also said that he had struggled with heart problems and had a stroke last month. So it's kind of just a mix of everything.
Yeah, that'll do it.
But he's in heaven now, I think. And he largely stayed away from the spotlight despite the fame of his parents. And lost his father, Ike, in 2007, followed by Tina in 2023. So there you have it. Now we have someone who is alive and just diving headfirst into a pile of money. Miss Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah, she made a lot this weekend at the box office.
The life of a showgirl is nice, according to these numbers. As said previously, she is racking up some streaming records. The album release theatrical event won the box office. 50 Cent was psyched to get a shout-out on the album.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm. Good for him.
They say within 12 hours of the release, it had been streamed more than any other album on Spotify this year.
My God.
The song, The Fate of Ophelia, became the most streamed song in a single day in Spotify history. Showgirl also broke the 2025 single-day streaming record on Apple Music, and over at Amazon, it's now the most streamed album ever in a single day. The album sold 2.7 million copies on day one.
How's it doing on iHeartRadio?
You know what? Great question. I can tell you right now, it is free right there in the palm of your hand. You could set the preset to the album if you want, right after our show, of course, and Real Radio. Download it today, because we love you. Taylor was also dominating the box office, 33 million in the theaters. She's now the only female artist to sell 100 million albums. And that was... I guess that it's going to keep happening for her.
By the way, real quick, what do you think? What percentage, speaking of like demographics and stuff, what percentage of the audience for the Taylor Swift movie this weekend do you think was female? What percentage?
85.
80.
97.
88% was women. And of that, 61% women 18 to 34, which honestly, I was kind of surprised by. I was like, how does she she keeps that demographic, even though isn't Taylor Swift not in the 18 to 34 demographic anymore?
I think she just turned 34.
Yeah, so she's like, if she's barely in it anymore. She keeps her audience young like that. 70% white people.
She's 35.
2% black people. Black people did not want to go see the Taylor Swift thing this weekend.
Well, all the people will not be able to spend even more money on a tour because she has already ruled that out. She is not going out on tour anytime soon. She says, I am so tired. So I
don't blame her.
Feel that. Yeah. When I think about doing it again, I get even more tired.
I mean, she recorded this album while she was on the Eras tour.
Exactly. And then got engaged. And she even had time to write and record the song all about her fiance's penis.
What now?
Yep, The Life of a Showgirl on the new album. She may have dropped an Easter egg plant, a hidden genitalia. They're saying the song Wood is about Travis Kelce's flesh flute.
All right.
Giant flesh flute. So let's go ahead and read the lyrics here. Forgive me, it sounds cocky. He amazed me. Matized me and opened my eyes. Redwood tree, it ain't hard to see. His love was the key that opened my thighs.
Oh, all right.
Wow. Girls, yeah. I don't need to catch the bouquet to know a hard rock is on the way. And baby, I'll admit, I've been a little superstitious. The curse on me was broken by your magic wand. I'll give you one more. Seems to be that you and me, we make our own luck, new heights of manhood. I ain't got to knock on wood. So is this all about his dong or what?
I think the general consensus is that the song seems to be about his dong. You know?
Wood is 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. 230 millimeters equals 9 inches. Wood is song number 9 on the album.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, that might
I'm
be
not
going
doing this math. I'm just reading what the article says.
Do we think Taylor Swift is writing the song musically? She's like, no, it has to stop now because he's 9 inches. So, like, I want it to be a 3 minute and 30-second song, but I'm not that lucky. All right.
Yep. So there you have it. Congratulations to the happy couple and all the sex they're having. On the Boob Tube, we have got the following. Monday Night Football, baby. The Jags and the Chiefs. The 1 hour special, Born Lucky with Leland.
Old 9-inch to Travis Kelce right on the field there.
Look what you made him do. The Voice on NBC, Name That Tune, Celebrity Weakest Link, Brilliant Minds, and you can catch Taylor Swift on Fallon. Follow your dreams of me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra. Most importantly, say it with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. And one of the things that was interesting to me this weekend when they were saying Taylor Swift, #1 album in the country, #1 movie in the country, they said somebody else was very close, but didn't quite get there. I guess Prince with Purple Rain didn't get to achieve that. In fact, I don't know that anybody's ever done it before. I think it might have been the first time anybody's ever had the #1 movie in the country and the #1 album in the country. You got to salute her ability to monetize that audience. She knows what she's doing on that front at the very least. Okay, we'll see what you think about all of this and so much more. We also got to talk about, at some point, this judge whose house was burned down over the weekend, but they don't know yet like what happened or why the house caught fire or if it was an arson because of like political stuff. But There's a lot of question marks around that. We'll get down to some of the best answers we can find and a whole lot more on the way. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Win tickets to the Tampa Bay Bucks game Wednesday on our Instagram at Real Radio 1041.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Take it slow if you're just starting your drive this afternoon. The roads are slick with steady rainfall across the area. There's also a couple accidents that might be affecting your drive. The on-ramps partially blocked from Orange Blossom Trail to Florida's Turnpike northbound. All lanes are blocked. Westbound on Epcot Center Drive at I-4. Eastbound and westbound lanes are blocked on State Road 46 near the interstate. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rasmussen University.
My name is Arnold Bogarty, and prior to me enrolling in Rasmussen.
Hello! We got a couple minutes to chat if you want to. Or not. Courtney says, what type of cuisine for dinner? What type of cuisine are we thinking? Not Italian. Not Mexican. What do we really want? And if I just tell her whatever you want, then that won't be good either. I'm going to say American. Ethiopian. She's going to get scared. She really hates Ethiopians. Hot dogs and mac and cheese? I said American, she said so hamburgers. American cuisine is so much more than hamburgers. It's a vast array of what are basically bar foods that we deem to be American cuisine. What part of America? The dirty South. Cheesesteaks. Canadian? Ah, get out of here. Not eating no Canadian food. Yeah, that great Canadian invention of poutine. Congratulations, Canada. What a massive breakthrough on your part. You also took the W in the world of bacon and then made it into the biggest L in the history of the culinary world. Fried chicken and okra? She said, no! No, thank you. Mississippi mud roast. Fried chicken, watermelon, and Kool-Aid? I'm in. Canadian bacon? Yes. Canadian bacon, just for the record, is bad. It's terrible in every way. Everybody knows it. It's horrific. It's the latest of bad Canadian things. Okay? Canadian bacon is bad. Poutine is bad. Most everything that comes from up there, food-wise, is rubbish. Tim Hortons can kiss my ass. Horrible. Not good. Couple of minutes and we're coming back live. Tiger says, listen, one of the best foods I've had is the turkey poutine at Epcot during the Festival of the Holidays. Hang on. I feel sorry that that's the best thing that you had there. Epcot has a vast array of good foods during any of the holidays that are going on. As of late, I've found the Hawaii booth to be particularly good. They have a sticky rice concoction at the Hawaii booth. Magnifique. Very good. Sean, you are nuts. Canadian bacon has its place on Eggs Benedict and Meat Lovers Pizza. Let me go one further, okay? Let me go one further. Eggs Benedict is trash. Just generally speaking, as a breakfast item. Eggs Benedict is trash. It was somebody's idea to take eggs and try to fancify them in a probably French way, would be my guess. They tried to make it fancy when it didn't need to be. Hollandaise sauce is gross. Even when done properly, it's not good. And when done not properly, like it is like 90% of the time, it's like putrid. You're trying to get a delicious breakfast down, and all you get is runny eggs with a bunch of gross Eggs Benedict sauce on probably an overcooked biscuit or something. It's bad. We should say enough is enough. We shouldn't stand for this stuff.
These guys serve all of Central Florida, and they are metal roofing experts. Schedule your free estimate today at Eustace Roofing.
2 minutes and we're coming back.
Their spectacular savings event.
What? I love Maxine's on Shines, Eggs Benedict. Look, you can say what you will. There are things that we can disagree on. I'm not going to disagree on this issue with you. I'm going to tell you what the truth is. The truth is that Eggs Benedict is garbage. That even a good Eggs Benedict is still bad. And that anything else, literally anything else on the breakfast menu is superior in every way. Okay? Now, the real winner for the best just overall run-of-the-mill everyday breakfast is sticky rice with fried eggs. It's just unbeatable. Little drizzle of hot sauce on top, sticky rice perfectly cooked, 2 fried eggs on top, and a little bit of hot sauce drizzled over it. Beautiful. Better than any Hollandaise-led Benedict you will ever see in your life. I'm sorry, but if you disagree, you're just wrong. Hate to say it.
But so much more.
One-of-a-kind Savorites. Beautiful, vibrant green color. Red Spinel from Burma. Unbelievable pigeon blood red color. Aquamarines, Santa Maria color.
Are you looking to add some color with fashion jewelry or even an engagement ring? IDC invites you to a whole new world of exquisite choices.
What we've really focused on is making sure that we are finding the most rare, spectacular gemstones.
Discover unique and rare precious gemstones and add some color to your life at International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennia.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Holiday magic! Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Dollar. DOLLAR. That's dollar. Enter it now at realradio.fm and get a little holiday magic. And may your efforts bear fruit.
Forever at the crossroads between viral news and total chaos.
It's driving me mad. You're going to go mad with me.
Sometimes I think everything's driving you mad, too.
I know. You're just watching it from not even a distance. You're just front row seat to me going mad with all these stories around me. I want to tell you about a couple of things here. First things first, what I'm about to tell you is a MAT, or most accurate take. All right? This is just 100% true. Whether you disagree or not, you could be a little baby and create a puddle of pee and whine about it. But I'm just right about this. Now, I'll start with the good side of this and then over to the bad side of this. The good side of this is something I saw with my own eyes at a spot called Luke's, a restaurant called Luke's this weekend. Nice little spot. They got all kinds of good food. Beautiful restaurant. fans over there, I believe, in the kitchen who have been nice many times as I've been there. And at Luke's, you walk into this huge, gorgeous door, and then there's like a reception area of the restaurant right as you walk through. And I see on a small bench in this reception area is what I believe to be a new mother. She has a child with her who is all of maybe a month old or maybe 2 months or something. It's a little baby. I mean, it's the size of like a small watermelon or something. It ain't big. And she is sitting there patiently taking care of her baby, trying to calm her baby and burp her baby. And she's pulled her baby away from the table to give the child the attention that it needed in the situation, and also be polite to the fellow diners at the restaurant. And I remember walking by looking, and I'm going, man, it's amazing. This lady just had this child. Here she is out here taking care of this baby, doing the right thing. But the news, it's always there. It's unrelenting. And when I got back, I see that there's yet another story like this. And in this case, it is a woman who thinks that she wasn't in the wrong at all. But boy, oh boy, was the woman in the wrong. This woman said that her baby, that was apparently crying nonstop, her 8-month-old daughter, at the top of her lungs in this restaurant, she goes, too bad. Just deal with it. It's not a big deal. It's a baby. What do you want from me? Okay? And this woman basically said the people who were upset and complaining about her child crying at the restaurant, those were the baddies in this situation. And I will tell you, most accurate take ever, no, you are being an asshole, all right? You are being the dumb one in this arrangement here. I didn't agree with you to have some sort of baby together, all right? You decided to have a baby on your own. And when you bring that baby in public to a restaurant or anywhere else, and it starts screaming at the top of its lungs, you have to do everything within your power to make sure you're not being obnoxious via that child to everybody in the restaurant. I did this same thing when Dylan was a little baby. We would bring him around somewhere, and he'd start crying in the middle of the restaurant. You do the right thing. You pick up the child. You go outside.
Shake it. Oh, go outside.
You go into like an area like the woman did in the reception area. You do all of these things, okay? Because that's the right thing to do. This woman's baby is screaming, blood-curdling screams at the top of its lungs. And the mom's like, well, stop complaining. It's a baby. What do you expect? It's a baby. Just deal with it, she says. And this somehow went all the way to the Atlanta headlines and local news. Here's the story. What am I missing here? Because this woman seems so very in the wrong to me.
People are watching a viral video that captured two customers going at it. Thousands are weighing in when a customer told a Henry County mother to leave if she couldn't keep her infant quiet.
Yes.
Channel 2's Tom Jones is live in McDonough. Tom, people have opinions about this one.
People have opinions, Tom. Yes, they do. Of course they do. Some of them are bad. Sealand, I don't want you to feel like you're catching strays on this. You know, I'm sure you guys do great when you take Jackson out somewhere.
Mostly.
If you even take him out to would you just take Jackson out to a restaurant with you guys?
Yeah. We went a couple weeks ago to a brunch spot downtown, one that I hadn't been to yet. And we have this. If they don't have high chairs, we have this device called the Lobster. That
I've not heard of this.
I keep it in the car, and so you attach it to the table you're sitting at with two giant clamps.
Oh, I've seen that.
You screw them on so that they're like nice and tight, and then the baby just sits in it like it's a chair that's attached to the table.
Yeah, remember those cup holders that you had a long time ago? You would just clip. Imagine just putting a baby inside of that.
It's kind of like that.
And if Jackson's in this Lobster and he just starts crying at the top of his lungs, do you take the tact that this lady took of
I order a
it's
shot.
A baby? You start getting hammered. It's a baby. It's gonna cry. God, what are you guys complaining about?
No. We usually come prepared, with plenty of distractions.
The thing for me is this idea that your problems should be thrust on everybody around you is something that people believe that I think needs to be eradicated. It's craziness. All right. Everybody else who's going to lunch or dinner or whatever deserves to have an enjoyable meal. And if you want to bring your kid there, then it's on you to make sure that everything's working out. And
then that's why they have restaurants now that don't allow kids.
Sure, yeah.
And there was uproar about that, but it's like, yeah, sometimes other people don't want to hear the screaming baby for long periods of time.
I want to clarify, though. If you're sitting there with your baby at the table and your baby cries like once or twice, who cares? No big deal. No big deal. I get it. It's like on a plane. When your kid cries, it's a plane. His ears are hurting, going up, and the pressure is hitting him. It's all good. All good. But when your baby is just nonstop crying and you're like, well, what am I going to do? It's a child. No, it's your child is what it is, bitch. It's your kid. Not everybody else's in this restaurant. We shouldn't have to deal with it. Like, I just bring in some screeching smoke alarm with me and be like, well, I like to bring the smoke alarm. I'm sorry if it's bothering you right now. I guess they got this on video.
Oh, yes, they do.
Tom Jones.
What happened at the restaurant Paris Bon Me here? B. Whitaker decided to bring her a baby girl.
I was just going to say, I saw it immediately. Used to be a Pizza Hut.
You cannot hide an old Pizza Hut, can you? You cannot hide the shape of these places. They all turned into something. This one is this. I can't read it. I can't read what the name of the place is.
Something Bon Me.
Is it? It's a Paris Bon Me. Yeah. Paris Bon Me is the name of the place.
Here for lunch. Well, Montana decided to exercise her vocal cords, and what happened next has thousands of people exercising their vocal cords with their opinions.
Okay. Oh, here it is.
This gentleman here is telling me to tell my 8-month-old to stop screaming.
Lady, you
so
already
it's not
lost
crying.
me.
It's the
It's
excited
like,
screams.
It's what I'm sure C-Lane has been through, where your kid just discovers he has a voice.
Jackson is actually beginning to discover volume, like his volume.
Yeah, and the kid is naturally playing with that, that's fine. That's what little kids do, and you shouldn't discourage your child from doing that in some ways. But you shouldn't think that everybody else in a restaurant just has to deal with it. That's craziness. That's craziness. This is the ideology that suggests that you could just crash through life and everybody around you be damned. You're the main character. What are you even complaining about? Oh, sorry, did I make your day worse and more annoying? Too bad. Put up with me. That's what it is.
Between V. Whitaker, her 8-month-old baby, Montana, and a customer at Paris Bon Me restaurant has stirred up a debate once again about baby behavior when dining out. The customer told Whitaker Montana's screaming was hurting his sensitive ears, and they need to learn to be respectful and leave.
You need to learn to be respectful.
She's a child, sir.
Yes, she is. She's a child. And that's why it's not her fault. It's yours, because you're the adult that brought her here. She is just a cute little girl doing cute little girl things. But not everybody else wants to hear the noise coming out of this little hellion that you've brought along with you. And I think this guy is totally in the right to say this. This is like this. And she videotaped it, I guess. She must be the one.
I didn't do anything.
Whitaker told me she and her baby had a right to eat out like everyone else.
I'm telling you, you can leave. I don't have to leave. If you have a problem with it, you can leave.
A manager eventually came over and the customer left. Whitaker shared the encounter on social media, and on one post, it has nearly 800,000 likes, nearly 50,000 comments. One person said a baby screaming is annoying.
Yeah, yes. All right, normal people on TikTok. It's a child, but unpopular opinion. That's annoying. I wouldn't have said anything. Grabbed my belongings and rolled out. It's a child. She can't help it. Wait, hold on. I can't even tell what side this person's on. It's a child, but unpopular opinion. That's annoying. I wouldn't have said anything. I would have grabbed my belongings and rolled out. It's a child. She can't help it. Well, of course the child can't help it, but the adult should be in charge and pick up the child and go, hey, this is obnoxious to everybody else here. TikTok let me down again. Maybe somebody else has a better take. Let's see what else.
Another said, I don't want to hear a baby screaming. Many other commenters said it's a baby and it's a public place. That's the sentiment I got from people near the restaurant.
No, she's a baby. You have no control over that. It's a baby.
Whitaker continues to believe her baby has a right to dine out like anyone else.
No parent, no kid should feel like they don't belong because of another customer.
Okay, so she said no parent should feel like they don't belong because somebody's complaining about this. I 100% side with the guy complaining. 100%. You're not allowed to annoying up every place that you occupy because of your decisions to get impregnated and have a child. You don't thrust that decision and the things that follow onto everybody else around you. And every parent should be that way. They should go, okay, what's going on here? Is my child being annoying to every other person who's just trying to have a nice time? If the answer is yes, get up, take your kid out, calm them down a little bit, get them to just relax, and then go back inside or go back to eating or whatever you were doing. And if you can't get them calmed down, if the kid just wants to make noise the whole time, get your food to go and get the hell out of there. I don't like the idea that like you have the right to annoy everybody around you. To hell with you for wanting some sort of peaceful experience in public. But let us know what you think. Send us a dispatch or email tips@thenewsjunkie.com, TIPS @thenewsjunkie.com. All right, let's see what we have real quick. We can work in one or two dispatches. I don't think we've done any yet, which I feel horrific about. I do. Let's go to I'm Not a Hippie, talking about Taylor Swift.
Nope. Try again, T Swift. Eminem had the #1 album, the #1 single, and the #1 movie all at the same time back in 2002.
8 Mile?
When it comes to numbers, it's hard to compete with Eminem. But Taylor Swift, that's a great feat. Shout out to T Swift. Hippie out.
Is that true? I mean, there's a good chance that that's true. Like when 8 Mile came out, if he had to.
Well, she only did the movie for the weekend, right? So it's
yeah,
not
only
like
for
next
3 days.
Weekend.
Yeah. No. This was just like a limited engagement thing where she pops the movie out.
Right.
Everybody goes to see the movie, and it's already gone. It's already completely gone out of the theaters.
Seems to be true. Checks out.
8 Mile was #1?
Yeah. Eminem is the only person who has simultaneously held the #1 position for a movie, an album, and a single at the same time in November 2002 when 8 Mile opened at #1 at the box office. The album, 8 Mile, music from and inspired by the motion picture, topped the chart, and Lose Yourself reached #1 on the Hot 100.
Oh, man. The song is still so good, too. It's
Palms to sweat.
Dun. Yeah.
It's
still
not
dig
my
it.
favorite Eminem song, but I guess it's like the one for him because that's the one he like closes shows with.
Yeah.
Or at least
that's
when I
the
saw
one.
him.
I would listen to that on my headphones before I confronted the lady with the screaming baby. Like I would get fired up. I was I'm going to go over there. I'm not going to mom spaghetti this. I really got to keep it together. Let us know what you think. One more here. Here's Ozman talking about Ed Gein in this Netflix very, very, very dark horror series about his life. Hello?
Maybe it's just me, but I always thought that Ed Gein was like a commonly known name like Jeffrey Dahmer in that scene.
I don't think so.
I remember first learning about him when I was like 10 or so.
Damn,
I'm
bro.
30 now, so.
Why were you learning about this at 10?
Yeah. Tell me more.
Mom and dad are like, it's time for the sit down. Oh, we're going to talk about the birds and the
Put
bees?
a pause on your PlayStation. We're going to talk about the serial killer who wore his mom's face.
I mean, I had never heard of him, but it seems like a lot of things were inspired by him, so people knew. Like somebody, I think in the texting service or something, said Blind Melon, one of their songs was about Ed Gein.
Oh, yeah?
And then obviously...
Is he like the first serial killer or of notoriety at that point?
Maybe,
I got that vibe that it's like he's the one who walks so everyone else could run.
I think what they were kind of getting at was like this was an explosion of horror movies at this time. And so they were looking for somebody to reference. And so there was an actual human person that did this terrible stuff. So they made them all. But you know who they made look bad? Alfred Hitchcock. They made Alfred Hitchcock into like a gross, like, nobody liked him. He was nasty kind of guy.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He went to the theaters and was trying to see like how people were receiving his movie. And they also when they showed Alfred Hitchcock in this series and they show him premiering Psycho when it came out, I thought to myself, I was like, I don't think that's true. I don't think what they're doing here is true. Because in the movie they show within this docuseries, that version of Psycho, the woman is like naked and exposed all over the place. And I'm pretty sure in the Psycho shower scene, there's not even any nudity. There wasn't like any nudity, even though it was in a shower.
There was chocolate syrup.
Yeah, but at that time, like nudity was a no-go in movies. You wouldn't be able to do this stuff that you do now. You could have gone to jail for doing some of the stuff that you do now back at the time. So I don't even think
Terrifier.
he showed nudity. Yeah, like Terrifier would be like, lock them up and throw away the keys if you did this. So I think they kind of got that wrong. But Ozman learned this at 10 years old, I guess. Okay. Glad to hear it. Thank you.
You really distracted us,
What'd you
Osman.
learn at 11?
Congratulations,
dark,
buddy.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. I'm just going to leave it to you, all right? Thank you for your message. When we come back, we'll get to a man who got a text message and lost thousands and thousands of dollars and say goodbye. It may have been part of your childhood, but it is RIP and no more now. What is it? That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is.
Monsters in the morning.
Like I just suddenly start getting in the way of these old men that were trying to smash.
Why get in the way? Let them have fun.
You ain't smashing my grandma,
let
bro.
grandma smash.
No, you ain't smashing grandma.
Let grandma
that was
smash.
for grandpa, the World War II veteran. You don't get in there, sir.
Grandma
got to the old folks home and she wanted to be a hussy. Let her live her hussy dreams.
The Monsters in the morning.
Real radio 104.1.
The off-ramps blocked from I-4 westbound to Dirksen Drive. Eastbound and westbound lanes are blocked on State Road 46 by the interstate there. There's a serious accident getting cleared up on Epcot Center Drive westbound near I-4. Look out for emergency crews on the roadways. And the roadways are wet out there, so travel with caution. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first.
Hey! What's up, my people? Skull Mike activated. Just got the Mark Sanchez video. They've released security footage of the NFL analyst after this encounter, and he's like stabbed and trying to make his way away from it. We'll play that, and we'll give you, they just had a press conference with the latest details. We'll give you both of those next.
They will take $500 off your quote. 407-777-5050 or visit solarinstallersoflorida.com.
My testosterone is back, baby. Thanks to Red Mountain Weight Loss.
Hi, James. How are you? RIP to Rite Aid. Sayonara. It was a good run. Every single Rite Aid store is closed. We used to have a Rite Aid when I was a kid that we went to a lot. Done. Over. I think at one point it was like the biggest pharmacy in America. Everywhere. Every corner. The Psycho original shower scene did hard nudity. I don't think you're right. I don't think there's any nudity in that scene. Bet? You want to bet? You want to bet? Mariano? You're on. I don't think there's any nudity in the Psycho shower scene. What are we betting? What's on the line? Because you said Psycho's original shower scene did hard nudity. Or did have nudity. Did the shower scene in Psycho have actual nudity in it? Was there anything exposed in that scene? The shower scene in Psycho 1960 did not include any actual nudity.
Yeah, I'm putting you up.
They used rapid editing, 78 camera setups and 52 cuts, and strategic framing. You owe me. You owe me, Mariano. I want a drawing of me. That's my payment. I would like you to draw me. And in some sort of seductive pose. Psycho was the first movie to show a woman in her bra. Is that true? I don't think that's true. Was Psycho the first movie to show a woman in her bra? No, Psycho was not the first movie to show a woman in her bra. But it was one of the first mainstream Hollywood films to show it in a non-comedic sense. So it wasn't the first one. Okay? Chris, you now owe me. I want you to draw a seductive drawing of me and then email it into tipsofthenewsjunkie.com. Yes. 2 minutes and we're coming back live. That's what I do on the breaks now. I just mop the floor with you people in bets here on chat, and then I get what I really want in life, what really gets me off, seductive drawings of myself. I remember Sun Rexall Drugs and Eckerd's. My father worked for Rexall Sundown for a brief period of time. And then he worked for Siemens for a brief period of time, which as a teenager, I hated. Because if I had to tell anybody where my dad worked, I had to say Siemens, and I hated that it sounded like semen, and I had to explain this. Short-lived nightmare. 90 seconds, and we're coming back live. Off subject, are you watching your Dogecoin? No. No. All right, we're coming back. Here we go. Buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Your best choice. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information, but also fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. So stay smart, stay safe, and stay protected with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use the promo code BECK. Terms do apply.
On the new season of the podcast Heavyweight,
I pointed the gun at him and said, "This isn't a joke."
A man who robbed a bank when he was 14 years old, and a centenarian rediscovers a love lost 80 years ago.
How can a 101-year-old woman fall in love again?
Listen to Heavyweight on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Heavyweight and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
We are professional grade at Orange Buick GMC. Online at orangebuickgmc.com.
Holiday magic! Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Dollar. DOLLAR. That's dollar. Enter it now at realradio.fm and get a little holiday magic. And may your efforts bear fruit.
Home of the world famous Game of Magnets. This is the
That's right. You can learn more about the show. Subscribe to the podcast. Find us on YouTube and all that over at thenewsjunkie.com. In defense of Gen Z, real quick, I had to do that after seeing this story in the New York Times this weekend. This is going to poison all of the oldos that read the New York Times, okay? They're going to think even worse things about Gen Z. And I try to be the person who can connect the generations, all right? I'm trying to connect Gen X and the Zoomers, or the Boomers and the Zoomers, or the Millennials and these other, whatever, whoever's connecting. I'm trying to connect them together. This ain't helping, because the New York Times did this story this weekend, and it says, what does Gen Z divorce look like? Okay, fine. You're going to do a story about Gen Z and how they get divorced, yada, yada, yada. Okay, fine. And it says, for one thing, speed is of the essence. Okay, so Gen Zers like to get divorced fast when they divorce.
Like
okay,
prenups?
so you got some oldo reading this, right? And the problem is This is what old people are going to think of Gen Z. All right? And this is insanity. This is not Gen Z. I have to defend them. Here's how this is just 2 paragraphs in this article from the New York Times this weekend. It says, in 2021, Kira Benson, a violinist living in Seattle, knew it was time to get a divorce. Ending their 2-year lavender marriage. Okay, we can pause there. What's a lavender marriage? I've never heard of this.
Is that the gift you're supposed to get for the second anniversary?
Oh, maybe it is.
A lavender marriage is a marriage between a man and a woman where one or both partners are closeted homosexual. That's different. That's different.
Or bisexual. It said bisexual.
Okay, ending their 2-year lavender marriage.
Okay, so beards. That's just the new age way of saying we're each other's beards.
I've never heard that phrase before, but okay, lavender marriage wasn't an easy decision, but the musician had a supportive ally. If you have to dump your ex-husband, MX Benson, they don't go by Miss, they go by MX. MX Benson said, co-dump him with his mistress. Again, this is going to be old people reading this, and they'll be like, all the Zoomers, they're all out of control. This is what they're doing.
Back in my day, we just cheated on our spouses.
Before the breakup, Mix Benson, 27, who uses the pronoun they, checked in with their therapist, who said a divorce would be a good choice. Out of queer solidarity, they informed their husband's mistress this was kosher in Benson's arrangement, which was not a legal marriage, but a domestic partnership, about their shared partner's troubling behavior. The night of the breakup, Benson and the mistress spent a cozy evening together. We were eating a lot of comfort food, playing a lot of Animal Crossing. Old people are going to read this, and they're going to think this is what Gen Z is doing. Lavender marriages and like fake marriages, and they're divorcing and going to their therapist, and they're going to think that this person is a representative for Gen Z. This is not how divorce works for Gen Z people. I have to do zero research to tell you that. Zero research will tell me without a shadow of a doubt, I put everything on it, that this is not representative of divorce in the Gen Z world.
I'm not even sure what is going on in this story here. So Kira Benson was married to a man.
I think.
But also had a domestic partner?
But no, she wasn't legally married. It was a domestic partnership. And then her partner also has a mistress that she's aware of. And then she told the mistress, and they spent time together playing Animal Crossing while they thought about the strategy to divorce.
Okay, yeah.
And the relationship that's not actually a marriage. Yeah, so they were going to co-dump him with the mistress. But she doesn't go by Miss because that's no good. I don't know. But I know this is not any sort of good representation for you, Gen Z. I'm sorry that the New York Times did this to you. I'm sorry that they have presented this in some way as if it's representative of your entire generation of people and how they divorce folks. I just, I feel for you today because a lot of boomers will be affected by this. There's no way around it. Real quick, RIP. RIP.
Oh, no.
They're all shutting down. The rest of them are shutting down. They once had 5,000 stores. They once had an impact on many people's lives. You've probably been to a Rite Aid, but now...
Ooh, I don't know if I have.
I've never been to one.
Rite Aid, one of America's biggest pharmacy chains, has closed its last stores.
No.
They had 89 stores open after having 5,000 at one point in time.
Fatality. Is this like Checkers versus Rallies? Was Rite Aid on the East Coast like Eckerd's?
I don't know. I think Rite Aid was just everywhere. We had a Rite Aid when I was growing up that I remember. And then it exploded into like Eckerd's and then Walgreens, and CVS feels new to me, but I don't know if that's true or not.
CVS was a branch of something or rebranding.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, all I know is that the Rite Aid used to be the one. That was what was on every damn corner with 5,000 stores. And now they're at the end of the line. They're shutting down the last few that were remaining. Let us know if you have any experience with that. Hit us up, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, or send a dispatch. Let's go over to this one. Here's Randolph who is emailing tips@thenewsjunkie.com. On the lady with the screaming baby in the restaurant, Randolph says, I agree with you. It's not appropriate behavior, and it's the parent's responsibility to teach their child to use an appropriate voice for the location. We made a distinction with our children that there's an inside voice and an outside voice. Sure. Yeah, I think that works. I think the basic thing here, like the actual position that I hold, is it's your job in public to try not to be obnoxious and ruin other people's times. All right? You're not the only person that matters. Your job should be to not be obnoxious and ruin other people's times. If you have an infant or a little child that you're bringing along to a restaurant, that's fine. I don't care if you do that. But if the child starts causing a scene or crying and you can't get control in some manner of time that seems reasonable of your child, then you should take them away. You should take them to a place where you can calm them down and maybe bring them back in. Or in worst case scenario, you say, I can't get the child to calm down. I've got to get them out of here. This is the newfangled idea. This is, and I wouldn't even tie this to Gen Z, but this is the newfangled idea that it's like, I'm the center of the universe and you just deal with whatever I bring to you. So like, if I want to bring my baby to the restaurant, it's a free country. I bring my baby to the restaurant, my baby starts crying at the top of its lungs, and then I blame you.
I believe she said, my baby has the right to dine here.
My baby has the right to dine here. It's like, the problem is not your baby dining, dummy. The problem is not you dining here. The problem is that you're, through the inaction in your parenting, making the experience bad for other paying customers. That's what's going on in these situations. It's like a weird, I don't know, it's a mentality. It's a sense that everybody should just deal with whatever you have going on. And I think it's obnoxious. And I think it's sort of that, maybe that's where it divides people. But I would suggest more people agree with what I'm saying than not. That would be my guess. Let me know how you feel. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. Real quick, the Mark Sanchez NFL commentator, they have just released video of him. I guess this is after he got stabbed in this altercation with some driver.
See, I thought he stabbed somebody. It was the other driver who had the expired pepper spray.
Yes.
And then said, if that didn't work, I'm going to stab him.
Yes.
Now, was there not somebody who was in the hospital in critical condition with
him?
This?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why the trajectory of the story was, at first people go, oh my God, I feel so bad for this guy. You know the NFL commentator Mark Sanchez? Well, this guy got stabbed by somebody. Oh, it's really out of control out there. Thoughts and prayers to your family. Then it was, no, he was the aggressor, and the other person defensively stabbed him. And then it was, now we learn more and more about it, but this is him after he was stabbed. You see him walking down the sidewalk. He's like holding his chest. Oh, he's bleeding too on his shirt for sure.
Jeez.
Yeah. He had quite a bit of blood.
Normal with a huge stab wound to the gut.
I don't feel like he is walking that normal.
Or just walking in general. I'm sorry, that's what surprised me.
He is walking, yeah. He's holding himself, and you can see there's a lot of blood on his shirt here.
And also, apparently, a bunch of potentially expired pepper spray on him?
Potentially, yes, which did not impact him. He was okay. He survived that part. I've got the press conference from this that they just did with some new details. So we'll get into that, number one. Number two, C-Lane got his hands on the actual 911 call from the Disney Springs scuba robbery. So we can hear more than just the 2 or 3 seconds of it that was played on the news outlets. We'll get into that in Jury Duty and a whole lot more. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Classic Alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
Last cigarette, one before I go to bed.
Real Music Weekends are Classic Alternative.
Point lead and lost to Carolina. Jaguars play tonight in the Monday Nighter against the Chiefs. College football, Miami is third in the coaches poll this week after their win over Florida State. The Seminoles drop out. And action this weekend includes UCF visiting Cincinnati. I'm Matt McCoy.
You wouldn't drive a car under the influence, so why would you operate a boat? The FWC wants to remind you that operating a boat while impaired is just as deadly as driving a car and carries the same penalties. Be as safe at sea as you are on land. Visit myfwc.com for more info.
Folks, I got to tell you, if you have an issue with your house and you need people to help you out and be fair and honest, it can be tough. You know, it takes a while to amass all the right companies that you're comfortable working with. That's why I have the greatest company if anything is ever wrong with your AC. It's going to skip through all that nonsense of you calling all the competitors out there and saying, well, let's see how it goes. And then the techs don't know what they're doing. They're just out of school. They have no idea how to fix your AC. They got to come out 2, 3, 4 times to actually get to the root of the problem and send other folks out. Or Mills Air sends their techs and they get it right the first time. And they're fair about the pricing, unlike so many of these other companies. And if you happen to need a new AC, they are a Carrier factory authorized dealer, getting you access to huge rebates on a brand new Carrier unit. You could always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you could always turn to family-owned and operated Mills Air. Here's the phone number, 407-277-1159. That's 407-277-1159. Or find them online at millsair.com.
Greenway Kia. For over 23 years, my family's been saying it. And right now, the savings are at an all-time high. With 3 convenient locations and one of the area's largest inventories, we deliver the selection and savings other dealers can't. And our friendly, non-commissioned sales team is here to guide you.
Hey, you. Look at you today. You dressed up on a Monday. And honestly, you look fantastic. I just can't believe it. Hey, fakest news I've seen this week. Hello? What can I do for you?
I'm listening.
I was going to tell you about the fakest news I've seen this week.
What is it?
But I'm telling them.
Okay, I'll go in the room and watch.
What do you need?
Have
you just been struggling all day with trying to figure out what to cook for dinner?
I have. It's really gross out.
I don't want excuses.
That's an excuse.
I don't want one. I just said I don't want one. Motivate yourself. Don't make that face at me. Go motivate yourself. Thank you, Sean. That shirt is making you look skinny. I don't know. I mean, I appreciate the kind words. I don't know, though. What was I saying? Oh, the fakest story of the week so far is there is an attempt underway to suggest there are more old people than ever that are taking to doing cocaine. And they're calling them silver snorters. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't think this is happening. That there's some rash of oldos at all the assisted living facilities who are taking to doing nose candy, and that they call themselves the silver snorters, which is far too close to silver surfer. I just don't believe it. I don't think it's right. I could definitely see people in the villages doing that. It's not to say that there aren't people in the villages doing that. There definitely are. But I seriously doubt there's like this new phenomenon of older people doing blow. I can't believe that would be true. 1 minute, we're coming back. The silver snorters should get together with the dainty drizzlers. I don't know. You don't want that stuff to get wet, right? It gets wet, you ruin it. It's a whole big problem. No one wants that. All right, here we go. 911 call from Disney Springs coming up.
Schedule in minutes at TaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Foster.
Wish you could save on home insurance?
in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
If you want to buy or sell your home quickly, call Nick Lee. For a guaranteed cash offer, visit thenickleyGroup.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Your front row seat to the most viral stories in the world. This
being you and for being here and just giving us the time, honest to God. Happy to do this show every single day and try to drag you through your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or beyond. But let's just do one at a time right now. And that's what we're doing today. You can learn more about the show at thenewsjunkie.com. I got the press conference here for the NFL commentator who got arrested, even though he was the one that was stabbed. We'll talk about that. I was talking a little bit during the break on the Skull Mic. You can tune in during breaks or the whole show if you want over on youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. And I encourage you to do that at some point. Check it out, see if you like it. But there was a story today that I just can't bring myself to believe. I just don't think this is an actual thing or a trend taking place. And it's a suggestion that there are a lot of older people now who are taking to doing drugs, like, for instance, cocaine. And
that seems like a bad idea.
First of all, that's very dangerous. Like, an older person doing a drug like that.
Yeah, your body's not what it used to be.
It's Heart Attack City. That's a really, really, really bad, dangerous thing, number one. And they said they call them the silver snorters. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
Like doing it for the first time since the 80s? Kind of old?
Hang on, let me see if we can
or
find
have they been consistently doing cocaine into their 60s?
No, I think that they're just taking to doing it now. It says the number of old age silver snorters who have ended up in the hospital for using this stuff has skyrocketed by a third in just 2 years. As many as 723 people in the UK alone sought help for the Class A drug. And 8 of those, 8 of those were above the age of 90.
What the hell?
They probably were like, I'm going to go any day now. YOLO. And they still survived.
Can you imagine racking lines at 90 years old?
Could you imagine being
I
don't know, someone who deals coke and you get a call from a 95-year-old?
Some old lady like, I'm looking for another hit here. Ma'am, are you sure?
That Kleenex that's been in their pocket all week long to dab their nose after a fat rail.
This can't be true, though. People are saying in the villages, sure, I'm sure there's some, but we're talking about 90-year-old people here.
Yeah, come on.
D-Con on YouTube says, Sean, it's crazy you're talking about this. My girlfriend, who's an RN, has come across older people ODing. For real?
Queen.
No way, man. Like, it seems like such a horrific idea at 90 years old, but maybe...
Unless you're just trying to...
You're like, why
maybe
not?
have one last ride.
What am I going to do? Do I want to wake up every morning, put on my little outfit, and be a greeter at Walmart in my 90s?
Still breathing.
Or do I want to run the gamut with some Colombian marching powder and just see which day's my last?
I mean, I just took... What would that be like? 90 years old, where it takes you 45 minutes to get across your house.
Mm-hmm. Not anymore. Not anymore.
Now I'm walking again. The walker's thrown aside.
Yeah, but
put on my dancing shoes.
Think about how much longer your stories are going to get. Just some people,
two old people just jawing it, right? Because they're all high as hell. Holy cow.
Does the story get faster or just that much longer?
I'd listen to it. I can tell you that. If there's a 90-year-old person that wants to tell me about their days growing up wherever, and they also want to be a silver snorter, I'm listening. I'm paying attention. I'm all about it. Before we get into jury duty, let's see here. This is the press conference. Actually, we'll put this in jury duty. Why not? It belongs there anyhow. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention. Before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass, you're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. He's not a silver snorter, I assure you. He's not. He's just a great attorney who's ready to help you out to fight those insurance companies, the greedy, greedy insurance companies.
Oh, my gosh. I Googled silver snorters, and the second and third options are this story from the Metro, Rise of the Silver Snorters, is there a cocaine crisis? But the first option is is a silver straw-like thing on Amazon.
This is for the silver snorters. They would
That's
get
for
one of
herbs
these.
and spices.
This is for them to do what they're doing. They're a little up there in age. I'm not going to tell them what to do. I'm not going to tell old people
Grandma, come on.
what to do. I'm just going to say it's a bad
Share the
idea.
blow, Grandma.
Is anybody saying no? So this says, no, there isn't. They invented a buzzword and wrote a story around it. Yes, that's what I think is happening here. Although they did say some people.
That was easier to understand than lavender marriage with MX Animal Crossing.
I think so, yes. But anyhow, I got lost in the Mo DeWitt promo. Don't forget, if you're in an accident, 800-CALL-MO. 800-CALL-MO or go to justcallmo.com. Let's go to the press conference for the Mark Sanchez stabbing story.
One of the statutory aggravators is the age of the victim, and certainly that is something that the judge can consider.
The victim's 69 years old.
Did investigators take a BAC level from Sanchez?
Well, anytime anyone's admitted to the hospital, there's a number of things that are conducted just kind of a matter of routine and a matter of procedure. And I think as you work through the process, certainly their health records are protected. We have to go through that process of making sure that any information that we receive is obtained through the proper channels.
So the journalist was asking if they perhaps got blood alcohol readings to see if the NFL commentator guy, Mark Sanchez, or anybody else involved was drunk. That's what he's talking about here.
Each team's working on that.
Do we know if investigators have had a chance to talk to any of Sanchez's associates and piece together what his Friday night was like before this happened?
I can't answer exactly what step in the process the investigators are at, but as the prosecutor mentioned, just because charges are filed doesn't mean the case or the investigation stops. So the investigators will be looking into all those things, and I think the medical records are going to be extremely important for both individuals to help the prosecutor make an important a charging decision to see if there's some other way to another charge that needs to be added, but also to see if there was some sort of altered state of mind of the individuals involved in this incident.
Damn, man.
Does the felony mean his bond has now changed?
So as you know, we're currently assigned to a misdemeanor level 6 court with the additional charges. This case will be transferred to a major felony court, and then it would be up to that major felony court to make the determination as to whether or not a bond should be imposed.
So there's even more charges potentially headed his way, and he's in for a world of hurt here. We'll see what happens to him next and keep an eye on that story. I saw a lot of people talking this weekend about this French influencer who was jailed. I don't know if you guys caught this at all, but
what are they? Needle dude. Hello.
What are they an influencer for?
We lost you for a second there.
Oh, did you?
Was it the needle dude?
Yes, yeah. It's
my God, that would have made me so mad.
And it's one of those things where I'm like, it's not funny. It's not
at all
interesting. It's just really messed up what you're doing. I'll try to see if I can bring up one of the clips of this for those of you who are watching today.
And
Everybody
his
else,
excuse,
you know what's going
it was
on.
like he doesn't even have any just entertainment in his body at all. He was like,
Yeah.
I just needed to make content.
Here's
and that's
the
what
guy.
you thought of.
This is him. He's out there, and he would go up next to people in public, and he would pretend like he was injecting them with something,
But he was actually poking them with an empty needle.
with
Would
a
you-
fake
what?
syringe.
Oh my God, I would freak out.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Of course.
To
of
think
course.
what was in your body. What do you have to do?
He's wearing a mask, and he would come up to them with these needles, with the fake syringes, And sometimes he would just like squirt something on them. Sometimes he would like, I don't know if he ever put a needle in the skin. I'm not sure, but they said he was sentenced to 6 months for doing this as some sort of prank, which is just
6
ridiculous.
months?
Yeah. I wish he got more than that, honestly. He also got a $2,000 fine and a 3-year ban on owning or carrying a weapon.
How about YouTube? They're still going to run his channel?
He pretended to inject people. I don't even know if he was on YouTube. This is I think they're showing TikTok, but I don't even know if this is just like people
It should be banned from all
reposting stuff.
social media.
It says Mojito Le Piqûre Fou, or the Mad Stinger was his name. The 27-year-old pretended to inject people with an empty syringe and filmed their horrified reactions. It caused a panic in France, and there were reports of needle attacks at student parties and festivals. Police received 145 reports of needle spiking during one music festival in June, although they didn't find too many actual cases of it.
This is like domestic terrorism.
Yeah, it's messed up. It's not funny, and I like when people like the idea of prank. The word prank got too expansive, and it became like not a funny thing, right? To do this, and
like what was the thing where you would just randomly show up places and dance?
Mm-hmm. Like a flash mob.
Flash mob. That one also got way too broad of a brush there. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, no, this is not a flash mob. You're robbing a store.
Yeah, it's not funny. And if somebody did that to your mom or your sister or something, you'd probably be pretty damn pissed off. Yeah. I think rightfully so. All right. When we come back, we'll see what's happening in your world and check in with some dispatches. Also, let's talk about Chicago and the ICE chaos that was going down this weekend, including the one woman who was shot by ICE, why that all happened. Crazy story, and it's continuing to unfold in that city. So we'll give you the update. And a man gets a text message, singular first, and loses thousands of dollars. How can you make sure that this doesn't happen to you? We'll talk about it. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
The Tampa Bay Bucks return home to host the San Francisco 49ers this Sunday. Coverage starts at 3:30 p.m. on Real Radio 104.1 and the free iHeartRadio app. Presented by First Horizon Bank and Renewal by Anderson, official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
The traffic lights are acting a little bit funny on Sand Lake Road near the interstate. I-4 westbound to Dirksen Drive. That off-ramp's blocked. Eastbound and westbound lanes are blocked on State Road 46 near the interstate there. Look out for crews on the roadways on Epcot Center Drive by I-4 clearing up a crash. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the traffic center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Upgrade your laundry routine with a durable and reliable Maytag laundry pair at Lowe's. Like the new Maytag washer and dryer with performance-enhanced stain-fighting power. Shop Maytag in-store or online today at Lowe's.com.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Every year, almost 30,000 babies in America are born with birth injuries. It's every parent's worst nightmare. If your child suffered a birth injury, please call our firm to find out if we can help.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
When disaster strikes your home or business, you need more than a quick fix. You need a team you can count on. You need Paul Davis Restoration, serving all of coastal and central Florida. From storm and water damage to fire, smoke, or mold, Paul Davis Restoration is ready 24/7 with the experience and care to get life back on track. They dry, clean, repair, and restore. Fast, professional, and reliable every step of the way. When things go wrong, they do what's right. Call Paul Davis Restoration, serving all of coastal and central Florida.
Don't get haunted by roof leaks this hurricane season. Eustace Roofing's spectacular savings event gives you $1,500 off your roof replacement. Florida weather won't wait. Why should you? Schedule now at eustaceroofing.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello. Folks. Somebody has emailed anonymously to say that they have an Ed Gein tattoo, which I have to tell you, after watching the Netflix series this weekend, is a red flag. It is a red flag to tattoo not only a murderer, but that guy on your body. It is worrisome. seen any of the video or reporting out of Chicago with the interactions between these like protest riot people and the ICE officers? I'm sure a lot of you have seen those interactions. There's some of these people, some of the anti-ICE people are unhinged. Some of the anti-ICE people absolutely, positively need to be darted and sent to prison. I don't know that I've seen too many people get this radicalized. I have to add it now to my groups of things that people can get so radicalized on that they would actually go hurt somebody. And that is trans rights issues, Palestine/Gaza and Israel, and then for sure, some of these anti-ICE people. They're nuts. Nuts. The lady that was shot by the ICE officers is a nut job. They knew of this lady because she had been posting threats all over social media. And then she got into a vehicle and started ramming the ICE officers and like trying to crash their vehicle. And then they pinned the ICE officers in with like 10 vehicles or something, and then tried to start smashing into their cars to stop them. And they ended up shooting this lady, and then she fled the scene. Unhinged lunatics, some of these anti-ICE people. Unhinged. No way. Decon says, Sean, spoke to my girlfriend who works in the ICU. She has 2 patients right now, 84-year-old and a 61-year-old on drugs. Crazy. Crazy. You don't have bronies on your list? No. Bronies, I haven't seen a streak of violence out of the brony community. The problem is almost all of these things they boil down to the word genocide. So like genocide excuses everything, every response, right? There's a genocide in Gaza. So therefore, anything that we do is excused in defense of trying to stop this genocide. There's a trans genocide, which is fucking retarded, just absolutely retarded. But people believe that. And so anything you do to like fight back at people who are critical against trans issues is, i.e. Charlie Kirk, is acceptable. And like this is some sort of genocide of illegals out of the United States, and it's harder to follow. But they're radicalized. 1 minute. Well, dude, RFK Jr. said it was okay to do hard drugs. I mean, I feel like that has the potential to wipe out more people than any virus. It really could.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie. Speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime. One dime down at RC Hill Mitsubishi in DeLand. Just go to rchill.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Holiday Magic! Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. CHECK. That's check. Enter it now at realradio.fm and get a little holiday magic. And may the odds be ever in your favor.
They're best friends, unless they're fighting. Are they fighting? It's the news.
Let's talk a bit about all the chaos in Chicago with the ICE officers clashing with some of these lunatics out in the streets. My God, some of the people in Chicago that are against the ICE officers are crazy, man. I saw a thread online, and the thread was like, I think it was from r/Chicago on Reddit or something. And they were like, these fascists are trying to take over in our country, blah, 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 blah. They're talking about the ICE officers, and then they said they killed this woman, or they shot this woman because she was protesting. And I thought, well, that sounds bad. Hang on, they just shot a woman who was protesting? You should be allowed to protest against whatever you want to, as long as you're peaceful and orderly and following the laws and rules and stuff in the United States of America. I don't care if I agree with you. Go ahead. I don't agree with half the protesters out there. What do I care? You have every right to do that. You have every right to disagree with me on any number of topics. It's fine. It's fine. But I was like, well, this seems a little fishy, too. There's no way this woman was just protesting like she didn't want immigration raids to happen. And the woman was so unhinged. This woman, they knew about her already because she was regularly threatening people, ICE officers, well, just general people, it seems, on social media. And then her and some other dude took part in this group that surrounded the ICE officers with like 10 cars, and they were ramming into them.
Hitting them with cars?
Yes, there was multiple instances of people using their cars to attack the ICE officers this weekend. And then one of them, the woman drove her car directly at the officers, and one of them, the officer fired a shot because your car is a weapon at that point. And then she fled the scene and hauled ass out of there. I'm like, these people have been fed a bill of goods about what they think they're doing here, like some heroic thing to stop ICE officers. It's craziness, man. It's absolute insanity. And it's not even just in Chicago. Like, that's why they're talking about bringing the feds into these cities, because the cities don't seem to want to do anything about violence when the ICE officers are just there to get people who are hopefully in the country illegally out. Like, they can do that. They have a right to do that in the United States of America, as opposed to the people that they're tracking down. And it's unhinged that we have people that are like so bloodthirsty against these officers. I don't know what to do about it to fix all of this.
Did you see the article or the story that came through about the app that they had pulled off the App Store?
Yeah, there was the ICE tracker thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pulled out of Apple's App Store? Because Android, I thought, usually lets everything go.
I don't know if Android stopped it, but I know Apple did pull down. I think there was multiple. I only briefly saw the story, Celine, but I think there were multiple ICE tracker apps that they pulled down.
I always thought that, I mean, I found it interesting mostly because I thought, well, and I know that in Florida about a month ago, the Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, wanted to go after this former senator who posted like a location that ICE was at in Orlando at the bus station.
Really? Okay.
And Uthmeyer called it doxing, which is another example of, I don't think you know what doxing really is, bro.
Right.
Like that, she just said where they were. She didn't.
People throw that around too much.
Yeah, she didn't give out their home addresses or anything. If she was doxing ICE agents, I think that's bad. But when it's just telling people where law enforcement is, I'm like, wasn't that a whole case where they ruled that, like, based on they were going after people for doing the thing where you blink your brights at the at oncoming traffic to let them know, hey, there's a speed trap over here. Yeah. You know, there's cops here, and it ruled that was protected with as First Amendment, protected speech. Right. And I was like, well, how's that different from having an app that just goes, hey, this is where ICE has been spotted?
I don't know what the actual laws are on stuff like that. Like, from what I know,
against the law, ways there's some redesigning to do.
Yeah, their app does that for sure. But from what I knew about these apps, you would like report that there was an ICE raid going on, or maybe you could like identify the ICE officers. And that part was the one that was concerning to me, because I think there's legitimately people who want harm to come to all these people.
Right.
Like
I don't know what was on the apps. It just, to me, sounded like, oh, they're just telling people, it's people telling each other where the ICE people are.
Somebody said it was called Ice Block on the Apple App Store. The app was called Ice Block on the Apple App Store. Yeah, I'm usually not a big fan of those things. I really don't like the 2 apps that they have where people can talk about their former partners and stuff. The T apps, there's one for women and one for men, where it's just about like going on and harassing people. I think all that stuff is kind of a bad idea. But I think some of these people are so hyped up that they're murderous, man. I don't know. The biggest division that I see in the United States of America is there's some portion of the populace that absolutely hates the country and wants to bring it down. I don't know how to reconcile with that. Like, the best thing I could think of that I usually lean on is you're allowed to have those thoughts. I don't want to be the thought police, but I don't want you to have any power. Like, if you're in America hating America, if you're in America rooting constantly for the bad guys and the criminals and all these people, like, at some point in time, I guess my best bet is just to say, I don't want you to have any power. I don't want you to be voted into dog catcher as a gig. I don't want you to have any power doing all this stuff, because these people are unhinged. And like, sure, I mean, I guess if people feel the need to mention this every time, like, obviously there are people who are protesting peacefully and they have every right to do that. And I get why they're upset about these things. But there is a percentage of these folks who are like violent, bloodthirsty weirdos. And I don't know. It's bad that this is happening in some of these cities. And it almost feels like bait. It almost feels like bait. Like, you don't do anything about people getting violent with ICE officers. And then the Trump administration goes, well, you're not going to do anything about it. We'll send in the feds. And then they react to the feds and get even madder. And things escalate and escalate and escalate. It doesn't improve. And we're going in the wrong direction in this country on so many fronts. We're not really reconciling anything with each other. That sucks to me. This doesn't. Or maybe it does. We'll see. Sea Light has obtained, through law enforcement sources, the 911 call of the Disney Springs robbery.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in case you don't know about this, I'll bring you back. There was a robbery in an area called Disney Springs. For the uninitiated, this is it's free. It's a free area down by the theme parks where they have a lot of great shops. They have a lot of very good restaurants.
Disney themed, but without paying that giant ticket price.
Yeah, and it's kind of this is fun. I go there a bunch. It used
to be downtown
cool.
Disney.
Yes, yeah. It used to be downtown Disney with what was the place with the clubs called?
Pleasure Island.
Pleasure Island, right.
There was Pleasure Island, and then there was downtown Disney West Side.
Oh, I went to Disney Quest, where I'm like, computer and technology, this is wild.
Quest
never
was
going to get
on,
any better than this.
Quest is so funny. Like, the very last time you ever went to Disney Quest, seeing how different... Like that was the most advanced stuff at the time.
It blew my mind.
And
now there's so many better video games.
Now I can put my phone in a cardboard box that's strapped to my head, and it's the same VR that I was using at Disney Quest.
It's crazy how fast all this stuff is happening. Honestly, it's a little alarming. But this area is a great spot, okay? And it's a fun little place. You can bring the family out, bring your screaming babies, and go to this Disney Springs place. There's a lot of restaurants, and one of them is called Paddlefish. And it's a large paddle boat that is turned into a big seafood restaurant. Mm-hmm. It's great. And, it's one of the older places that's been in there for a while. And in the dark of night, as they were counting up the money that they had taken in for the day, which is a lot, tens of thousands, somebody comes up in like a scuba gear, not with the tanks and whatnot, but like the wetsuit type stuff.
It's very James Bond.
Super James Bond. You couldn't see anything on them. You couldn't see the color of their eyes. You couldn't see anything. They thought the person was Spanish or Spanish speaking because they were, they were picking up something there. Maybe we'll find out more in the 911 call. They thought that the person was like a shorter male, and that was basically all they had. Mm-hmm. And he didn't have a weapon, I don't think, that he showed.
No.
Didn't have a weapon. He had the spray paint that he hit the cameras with. And then he had, I don't know if on him or got it from one of their stations, but he put bags over the employees' heads while he did the robbing.
Yeah. And then they called 911. I'm going to make a really obvious assumption here. I'm guessing this call took place when the person left,
Yes.
not while it was going on. And the news only played like a 3 or 4 second snippet of the 911 call. C-Lane got the whole thing.
The whole thing is 11 minutes long, so I can't play the whole thing. Also,
For the
there's
next 11 minutes, sit back and make yourself comfortable.
There's a dude who curses a little bit in it, and I can sort of paraphrase what he says later. But this is when they're talking about I think the spray paint. Where they have because they ask if they have any video footage of this.
Is anyone injured? No, we're not injured. We're shaken up, but we're not injured.
Shaken up.
Okay, do you guys have video camera footage of this incident? Oh, 5. He sprayed it. He sprayed it like...
He sprayed it, she said.
Spray paint, that's what it was.
Spray paint, that's what it was. And then this one, now, a lot of people, like, as soon as this story hit, have been saying, well, it sounds like somebody who knew what they were doing. They say that in this next part of the 911 call.
So he rushed into the cash room in the back? Yeah, well, he rushed, we're not in the back, it's in the dining room area. Okay. He came around the corner and saw us and rushed in. It was like he knew where it was.
It was like he knew where it was. Like, they even thought, like, this guy knew what he was doing.
This is what we said. We were like, look, the timing, a lot of stuff leads us to believe that this person either knew somebody who worked there or used to work there or something. There's something fishy going on. But they did a damn good job of covering up their tracks, it would seem. What was the person cursing about? What were they so upset about?
At some point, it was a different guy. He was just telling his side of the story, and he said, you said he probably came from the dining room area. He came from probably our lobby, yeah. We're just soaking wet with so much effing ink there, WD-40 or some S, and now they're getting sprayed the S out of the house, sprayed on the camera. They sprayed up this says fly paint, but it's a free transcription, so he probably said spray paint. Mm-hmm. And then, like, shortly after that guy was talking to the 911 operator, the police officer showed up to the scene, and they disconnected.
I'm trying to think of what, like, if you were an investigator, what you would take away from this. For some reason, I don't feel like the person was super young. I don't know. Maybe it's just because they thought about a lot of stuff. Or they're just
but then
gifted.
Again, could you be much older and be able to
pull this off?
Yeah, like the swimming of it, and
Maybe
they
not,
determined
no.
like he was just like he was using a snorkel or is it a tank or he disappeared back into the water, so he must have had some bag that was waterproof.
I think some of the stuff we're getting about that is coming from accounts of whatever surveillance might have caught this guy, because it doesn't say anything about any sort of swimming gear in this call, because as soon as the guy rushes in, he's dressed head to toe in black, all black. He spray paints a bunch of stuff, and he puts bags over these people's heads.
Yeah, and his goggles over his eyes, too, so you can't even see, like, his actual eyeballs.
So I don't know that they saw him for long enough to determine that he was wearing swimming gear. I think maybe some of that information, and I'm just speculating here, based on what's not in this 911 call, I think some of that came from footage that was obtained from external sources.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's all, I really wonder if they're going to catch this person.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting. I mean, I hate to say it. It's really like a whodunit kind of thing. And I'm glad nobody got hurt, but it's an interesting one to follow. That's what we've got from the 911 call. The rest was just kind of a back and forth that doesn't matter quite as much. Let me pay this off since I talked about it earlier. This is from Click Orlando, and they said a 75-year-old man from Ocala, Florida, who asked to be identified only by his first name, said his troubles began with a single text message offering him a flexible part-time job. Folks, if you get a text out of the blue and they're like, good news, we got a job for you.
I didn't apply anywhere.
Real.
That's so weird.
I mean, I've gotten these. Have you guys gotten any of these?
Offering me a job?
Yeah, yeah.
No.
It'll be
Not
like,
yet.
hey, I'm a headhunter from blah, blah, blah. And we've got a job for you making this much money. And you're like, okay, I get it. It's a whole scam thing. But this guy fell for it, I guess. The text promised daily wages ranging from $50 to $3,000. It's quite the range. For simple tasks.
I would like to make the $3,000 a day, please.
Please,
I
yeah.
don't care about the 50.
Daily wages ranging from $50 to $3,000 for simple tasks like watching YouTube videos and liking them. Oh, guys, sign me up.
Come on.
$3,000. I watch a YouTube video of a cat flying somewhere and I click the like button. Good to go. In a matter of a month, I could make $1,000 or a couple $1,000s. That would support my income. That was the intention of it. He said he ended up falling for the scam and sending thousands of dollars to these people.
I mean, my guy.
I know it's so bad. It's so bad.
Talk
it gets these
to
old
the
people.
older people in your lives. About safety when it comes to all these scams. I don't know why
they're so
you read
trusting.
a story like that, and we would not fall for it. But then there's some scams where, I mean, I had a friend recently tell me about his business getting scammed, and it was brilliant. Like,
oh yeah,
I mean, there was so many loops to it, but it would seem like a standard job, and all of a sudden they're out $30,000 because of fake check and whatever it was. They do become a little bit more tricky, but then you have old people stories like this where it's like, it was Enrique Iglesias, and he said he wanted to marry me, but he only needed $10,000. And they
some
fall
are
for
more
it.
obvious. Some are more obvious than others, but like they get
rough.
these people. If you just get a rando text like that, please, under no circumstances do you send them any money. All right.
So do not click the link. Don't send him any information, period.
Does it say how this guy lost a bunch of money? Because the text was offering him employment.
The text was offering him the job, but like everything else, it's like I guess I got scammed in this way one time a long time ago, where there was a job. I was looking for a gig at the time. It was before I got my water job. And the job was like, hey, you can make this much money. And I said, that sounds good. And then I went to the interview. And then when I got to the interview, I should have known something was wrong because there were so many people at the interview. It's like a cattle call. And then they say, oh, we're selling knives. And then you just have to buy the first set of knives to be able to have the knives. Yeah. And then I'm like, I don't know if this is right.
Everyone got a set of knives for Christmas for the next 5 years.
Yeah. And the business is selling knives to people who think they're selling knives, and then you get screwed. He said he started communicating with these people who believed he was believing they were his new business managers. They sent photos back and forth. The job was supposedly for Warner Brothers. They would pay me $3 for that particular one just for liking a video. They even sent checks here and there for around $50. That's a trick, by the way, to make you think, oh, this is legit. Dennis's business managers introduced him to the world of crypto. They had him download apps and taught him to trade, but he had to put his own money on first. In one particular task, if he invested $5,200, he was told his return would be $8,448. He went all in, completing the tasks and many others. Over the course of several months, he spent $15,000 of his own money via payment apps and Bitcoin, but never saw any returns. I don't know where the money went. I have no clue. They denied having it, he said. So, he thought he was like getting into this job and making money, but really he was the fool parted from his money by these scammers. So hold on tight to your digital monies. When we come back, we'll get to you and your feedback, which is rolling in fast right now. Thank you for that. We also got some more stuff to touch on before we wrap things up on a Monday. Maybe that includes you. Tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Hit up the show right now. Oh, somebody did say they want to be anonymous, so don't show this just yet, Celine. And they said, I got a tattoo of Ed Gein. And they send over...
I don't know how anonymous you could be.
Somebody's got to...
I don't think a lot of people have that.
This is the tattoo of Ed Gein.
Can I take it, or is there stuff in the background there?
You could take it. Yeah, it's blurred. And it's a tattoo on their body of this serial killer featured in the Netflix series that's #1 right now.
And you wanted that tattoo because...
That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about. That seems like a bit of a red flag, getting that tattoo.
But that can be covered up easily.
It's faded out pretty bad now. He says... they say, I got a career in healthcare, but I've been retired for many years now.
Those would be some hairy lady legs.
I got the tattoo because I was young and really into horror movies. I was aware of all the movies that had been inspired by Ed Gein, but sometimes we make bad choices when we're young. Sorry for the bad photo of the tattoo. All right, there you go. Thank you, Anonymous. Appreciate that. We're back in a moment. All of this and more coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
There's a crash getting cleared up on the ramp from US 192 to Florida's Turnpike northbound. The traffic lights are acting a little bit funny where Sand Lake Road meets I-4. Use that intersection as a four-way stop. Crews have moved that accident off to the shoulder now on I-4 westbound at Dirksen Drive. All lanes are still blocked on State Road 46 near the interstate. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Cue the easy button because it's officially Easy Deal Days at Staples. Now through October 11th, save up to 40% off over 1,000 products from tech, chairs, luggage, and more. Head to your Staples local store or staples.com to save while supplies last. Staples, that was easy.
Next time you're taking a stroll around your neighborhood, take a look at the roofs up there. You're going to notice that more and more of your neighbors have solar panels up on the roof. That back in the day, people would say, that's tacky. I'm not doing that. But now things have changed. You're going to realize more and more of your neighbors are not only saving money, but they have the freedom and peace of mind knowing their home is going to be covered in the event of an outage and powered by clean energy from the sun every day. If you think you could be next, the company to call is Solar Installers of Florida. They've been helping homeowners make the switch for 17 years. You might be surprised at how affordable it can be. They're going to help you out with the financing options. They're not going to try and oversell you. And they'll combine that with the current tax credits. You could start saving right away, day one, and keep saving year after year. Plus, their team maintains quality by handling the install, engineering, and permitting all in-house. No contractors, none of that, no outsourcing. So if you're still wondering if solar is worth it, stop wondering and find out. Get a free quote. Call 407-777-5050. That's 407-777-5050. Let them know C-Lane from the News Junkie sent you. You'll save even more money, and check them out online. Visit solarinstallersofflorida.com.
Transform your backyard with a black aluminum fence from Fence Outlet. For only $125 a month, that's less than $5 a day. Fence Outlet will install a 120-foot aluminum fence that turns any yard into your own oasis. Visit fenceoutlet.com for details. License number C-10252.
Eustace Roofing has a scary good deal with their spectacular savings event. $1,500 off your roof replacement. Serving all of Orlando with trusted hands-on service since 1959. Visit eustaceroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today. Terms and conditions apply.
Hang on, folks. Hang on. Just getting some clips ready. Okay.
Sometimes injuries that may seem minor today affect you for the rest of your life. Not all injuries are visible. I've seen it too many times. A client hired for
Okay, let's see.
500 episodes sounds like. New episodes every Thursday. Listen to My Favorite Murder on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Goodbye.
BJ's Wholesale Club has always been proud to offer great prices every day.
In this economy, almost sounds too good.
All right, we're all ready for the end of the show. There's not really any updates, unfortunately, on the Gaza deal. I hope like hell. I mean this with all of my heart. I hope like hell that Trump could pull off whatever this is. Whatever this is, to get Hamas to zip out, to get some peace finally for what's left of Gaza, to get Netanyahu to chill the hell out. He's unhinged as well. And to get some peace for at least some period of time between Israel and Gaza and Palestine larger, or Palestine generally speaking. It's complicated because Palestine's not technically a country, although, okay. But I hope like hell that they have some success there. I hope they can get these hostages back. I hope they can get some peace, because at the end of the day, I know there are actual human beings trying to live regular ass lives and just try to enjoy themselves in the middle of all of this horseshit. And that to me is crazy. But if Trump can do it, if Trump can pull that off, how do you not applaud that? If he can actually put forward something and it actually holds and leads to some sort of peace, short term even, in the Near East, I will give him all the shouts out. I will give him all the credit in the world. I think that is a good thing. Eddie says Trump could cure cancer and he'd still be the devil to the blue cult. If he ends this war, do you think he should get the Nobel Peace Prize? I don't know. It's so tough because Trump, and he deserves some of this, his name is so tainted that it won't be seen as giving the person who ushered in peace potentially in Gaza, it won't be seen as giving them the Nobel Prize. And I'm pretty sure all of the Nobel people probably hate Trump. It will be seen as just giving Trump something. And so that will be like the negative side around it. But anybody else in that position would be given the Nobel Peace Prize. I'm hoping they can do it. I hope so. Here we go.
Update your software on all your devices. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information, but also fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. So stay smart, stay safe, and stay protected with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use the promo code BECK. Terms do apply.
It's Halloween season. And the free iHeartRadio app has everything you need to make it a screaming good time. Radio app. Search Halloween and listen now.
iHeartRadio. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Holiday magic! Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. CHECK. That's check. Enter it now at realradio.fm and get a little holiday magic. And may the odds be ever in your favor.
The only show brave enough to admit we Google half this stuff. This is the new.
To get into, and we shall do that momentarily here on the show. Thanks for being with us on a Monday. Learn more about the show over at thenewsjunkie.com. Talking a bit about what was happening in the Middle East. I don't know if I saved this or not, but there was a crazy-ass video I saw, like a drone video. Oh, here it is right here. And when people ask, what's going on in Gaza, it's like I always think about this. This is not from that long ago. It's from a couple of weeks ago. And they just flew a drone over Gaza, and you can see, I mean it when I say, like, what's left. Like, it's literally just everything has been bombed to hell. It's nothingness for large portions of this area, building after building after building after building, just completely demolished. So when I look at this stuff, I'm like, dude, I know some of you are so like, you've been brain broken by anything Trump, but if the guy, I don't care who he is, can broker a deal and this deal works between Gaza and Israel, and anything to stop whatever's going on here, I'm all for it. And I think you should get all of the kudos in the world for doing it if that's the case. Will it happen? I don't know. But man, whenever I see these videos of just how much stuff has been bombed in Gaza, just endless destruction of block after block.
Makes
after
you wonder
block.
what's left to bomb.
Right. There isn't much. I told people before, like, take this as an assignment, and I'll preface this because there's no correct takes here because everybody's unhinged in this world. But as horrible as October 7th was, and unforgivable, and as much as I think everybody in Hamas would be a great target, and if they all died, the world would be a better place. As much as I believe all of that, when you look, if you go on to Google Maps and go into like anywhere, pick anywhere in Gaza, go anywhere, and just start scrolling along, you'll see just how much stuff has been bombed. And at the end of the day, if you think, well, there's actual people here, kids, families, grandmas, grandpas, and if you care about humans at all, you would want this to be over for those people. Even if you thought they were like brainwashed people who just hate Jews or whatever. I mean, I would hope that you would want this stuff to end. But some people, I think, root against Trump so much that they wouldn't even want him to get that win. They wouldn't want him to get that win. I don't care who it is. I want a win like that. I think it's better for humanity, but we'll see. I did want to talk about this real quick since we're doing a bit of a grab bag segment before I get to your emails. There's a story of a person who was a forklift driver, and he won $1 million on a scratch-off. $1 million. He went from having $17 in his bank account to having over $1.3 million.
Good
after
for him.
A good scratcher, as they call him. The guy's name is Adam Lopez, and he's 39 years old, but he started celebrating after becoming a millionaire.
As one does.
And he partied a little too hard because they said he started partying and did not stop for months, and he had to be hospitalized because he was running at it so hard.
Has this guy just never had money?
So he's partying. I thought one party, and he really was crazy. So he's been doing it for months.
Yeah, 3 months.
Now he's in the hospital, and I imagine that a lot of the money was spent on the partying. How's the hospital bill looking?
Oh, God, I don't know. I don't know just yet. It is in the UK, so I think, he's got less of a situation than he would here in the U.S. with the healthcare system. But he says, I knew what I was doing, and I knew it was going to come to an end eventually, and it nearly came to an end in the worst possible way. This was a massive, massive wake-up call. I was partying for 3 months after winning the lottery. It allowed me to live a bit of a life I never lived, but I think I went the wrong way about it.
I mean,
it was
I'm
enjoyable.
I think he did live that life a little bit with $17 in his bank account.
This couldn't have come from nowhere. They said, it became apparent about 3 weeks ago. I've got a blood clot in my leg, which spread to my lungs. And it's been a kick to the backside, he said. It's been rough. So you got to celebrate a little bit more dialed down, if you don't mind. Let's see. Celine, lots of people are sending in the story about the supermoon out there for you. They just want you to know.
I thought it was harvest or something.
I thought it was King Moon. Oh, it's King Tide. Sorry.
This story says October's supermoon is the first of 3 this year. So going to be very bright tonight.
Can't wait to see
out
it.
there.
Can't wait. Yeah.
Have that telescope out and just looking at the moon as we read this. Here is Omit talking about ICE in Chicago. Hey, junkies, you were asking for what direction we could go in to calm people down regarding ICE raids and just the general craziness that's happening. Yeah. It seems a lot of this could be avoided if President Trump and the administration tried to reconcile things. President Trump is the type to double and triple down, to just move forward without really paying attention to concerns from those who aren't, quote, on his side. This causes a lot of stress and anxiety to the people who want to be listened to. The government is the one in power. They're the ones who need to reach out to figure things out. But as we've seen, they prefer to ignore or get rid of detractors versus trying to reach out and meet in the middle. So people feel that protests aren't enough, and they feel the need to literally fight like the Black Panthers back in the day. It's a response America has done before when there's a government that uses rhetoric like we saw with McCarthyism, says Omin. I don't necessarily disagree with you. I think that the Trump administration should do things to tone down the rhetoric. I think that's the goal. It should be the goal of any president, to bring Americans together, to tone things down. There is an element now.
I hate my enemies. Hate them.
Right. Charlie liked him, but I absolutely hate him.
So that's what he said at the memorial for Charlie Kirk. But there's a lot of people just who want politics to be a blood sport right now. I don't like that. I like when, even though I want the news to be wild, and I thrive in that world, I like when people in America have the best shot at having just a great life. And I truly see so many people that get brain broken by political stuff. And I'm like, you're wasting it. You have one spin around on this blue marble and you're wasting it, like spending so much time being angry about this stuff.
Yeah, party for 3 months.
I see so many people who are, they've radicalized on a lot of these issues, ICE being just one of them. But no, I don't disagree. I think that the administration could absolutely positively do more to bring down the heat on this. And I think it's every politician's responsibility to do that. I'm just not seeing the politicians willing to do it.
No.
I'm not seeing them willing to do
crime
it.
and punishment.
Mike says to tipsofthenewsjunkie.com about obnoxious kids at restaurants. It seems now that you have kids or kids are involved. Now, it seems now that if you have kids or kids are involved, it's supposed to override all other considerations. The restaurant incident is just another personification of this mentality. All adult pastimes, porn, vaping, books, social media, must be restricted to everybody because of the children. No, some things are for adults only, and as parents, it's your job to keep this from your kids. Not mine, not the government, yours. That also includes respecting rules in a public space. It's not my responsibility to tolerate disruptive behavior. And one more. This is from Katie, who says, Sean, I saw a documentary on Alfred Hitchcock. You were talking about him. The women in his movies didn't like him at all. They hated him. He was grabby and very inappropriate. He made them very uncomfortable. He was a creeper. Katie, I don't know a lot about this, so I'm not really going to weigh in too much. But from the brief research that I did about Alfred Hitchcock after watching the docuseries, it seems like in his time, in the moment, he was mostly respected by people and wasn't thought of this way. And then afterwards, after he had died and after most people had like moved past Alfred Hitchcock's career, there were some books and documentaries that painted him in a negative light. And I've seen movie historians say both sides of this, that either those were accurate and he was a nasty guy, and I've seen people say that this is all nonsense, like Black Legend, where it's just somebody looking to defame him after his death. I don't know enough about Alfred Hitchcock. If somebody does, chime in with an email at tipsathenewsjunkie.com. All right, that'll do it for now. Oh, we are way behind. Quick break. When we come back, final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Monday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
The Jim Colbert Show. Out of context.
I can't believe that you called me out for teabagging. Because, I mean, come on, I didn't mean it that way.
I don't even know what that means.
The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast. And for our Monday, we are going to be expecting another wet day. We'll be planning for about a 60 to even 70% chance of rain. Heavy rain is likely at times, so just be sure to have the umbrella or rain jacket handy. Temperatures as a result will be below.
Okay, folks.
I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
Thank you for being with us. Thank you for spending time on the stream today. If you liked anything at all, hit that subscribe button. Hit like over there on YouTube. Hit that like button, if you will. It's a true service to the show. Thank you for doing it. I appreciate it.
Hard to believe, but the holidays
Now.
are just around the corner. And if you're in need of a new appliance before said
Oh.
holidays, then skip
Hey.
big box stores and head over
I want to say something to you. There is a new storm that is developing out in the Leeward Islands, out here in the Atlantic. And you're going to see a lot of coverage of this in the next couple of days. They're going to show the cone of death heading for the state of Florida. But I want to assure you, we're good. We're good. Don't worry about the storm. We got the shield. The shield is up and functioning. And as we know, we're going to have a free and clear hurricane season. So this cannot screw that up. Just wanted to tell you, we're good. We're good. Don't worry about the storm. All right? Now is the time to rate the show. 10 out of 10 if it was a real banger. 9 out of 10 if it was like, pretty darn good. 8 out of 10 if I had a decent time. 1 out of 10 if it sucked. Hold on. Wasn't there a lady on the beach at one time with a mega storm that was coming and she was bringing her voodoo stuff? 9 out of 10, not enough genocide talk. There's a genocide going on. How could I do it? How could I do it? 7.2 defunct Rite Aid stores out of 10. Fair enough. 9 out of 10. 9.5. I plead the fifth. I'm going to take that as a 5. Was 10 out of 10 before Sean cursed us with a hurricane, now 2 out of 10. How did I curse you with a hurricane? I simply told you, we're good. We're good. We got this. We're good. You know what I think about sometimes? I think about the fact that right now, Lady is in her room on the other side of this wall, and how weird she must think I am. She's like, oh yeah, he goes into that room, no one's there, and then he blabs and yaps for 4 hours, staring at like a camera or talking into a microphone. Lady must think that's the weirdest thing in the world. It must be so weird. 1 minute. Who's our chatter of the day? Actually, yes. They said he couldn't do it. They said he shouldn't do it. They said he should get the death penalty for doing it. But he did it anyway. Decon on YouTube is our chatter of the day. Unbelievable work, folks. Unbelievable work. Great all the way around. Hey, Dylan. Love you. Dylan thinks I'm weird too? Oh, I hope not. I hope he won his bet. Here we go.
IdentifyEPI.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Connected to the things you love.
The free iHeartRadio app does that with live radio, 24/7 news, live sports, and your favorite podcasts.
There's no catch and no charge.
Radio, your way.
Join the millions who already have it. The free iHeartRadio app.
The #1 app for radio.
Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find the latest fall looks all for under $30. With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find. Don't wait. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com.
Because therapy's expensive, and we have microphones. This is the news.
And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Monday. Thanks for being with us, everybody. We appreciate you. And if you miss any of the show, get the podcast links over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, let's see. Stories that didn't make the cut. One that was shocking to me this weekend from NBC News. A 35-year-old skydiving instructor died after he was presumed to have fallen from the sky without a parachute, which is...
I feel like that's rule number one.
Yeah, as you might imagine, that's a bad thing. The instructor became separated from a tandem rig with another skydiver, they said. The other person survived because their parachute got wrapped up in a tree, and it ended up keeping them alive. But I never thought of that happening. But on a tandem jump, the instructor got separated from them, and then the instructor has no chute. And the person who's going on a tandem skydive is like, I don't have... What am I supposed to do here?
I was just supposed to do that, surf's up sign with my cheeks flapping.
Yeah, that's got to be absolutely frightening. The second skydiver was found lodged in a tree with an open parachute in the woods. And they said it took several ladders to get the skydiver, who was awake, alert, and in stable condition. The other guy,
traumatized
not
for life.
So much. You're going to hear people talking about some sort of storm system that's likely to develop in the Atlantic this weekend. They're going to say, look, this thing might be heading for the east coast of the United States. They're going to show you some sort of 7-day maps with the cone of death. I tell you, brush it off, okay? The shield, the force field seems to be working this year. I think we're good to go. But there is a disturbance out there in the Atlantic, just so you know.
You say that, but 9 years ago today, we did 2 shows.
Is that true?
Because there was a hurricane.
9 years ago? What hurricane was that?
It'd be 2016.
Isn't that Michael?
I'm not sure.
Ivan?
Let's see.
That had to be around the time where we had like a lot in a row, right?
It could have been.
They had like multiple in a couple of years.
We had an office, and I had the cats there.
Yeah, because when there's a storm, we got to go in, and they got like a generator. And
there's no place to put my cat.
Oh, it might have been Hurricane Nicole.
Was it? Okay.
Oh, my God, full circle.
Look
I have
at
a cat and Nicole at home.
Look at that. All right. What else do we have here? A couple of things on the way out. The beachfront home of this judge burned to the ground.
Wasn't it like an explosion? I heard
They said there was an explosion. Yeah, they said there was an explosion, but it's like very unclear as to whether somebody exploded something or if the house was on fire and then just like explosions came from the house burning that much. But right now, quite obviously, people are on edge and they think if a judge has a house burned down, maybe somebody was targeting them.
Because she had just denied or put a restraining order against getting voter information to the administration. Am I saying this right?
There was some interaction
South Carolina
between
voting information.
There was some interaction between this judge and the Trump administration, which kind of led people to look at this and go, well, hold on. So they'll find out. We'll see when the information comes back, if this was arson, if it was like some political attack, or if it was something different entirely. They unveiled a brand new bridge. It's insane to think about. China can make things fast. How long did this take? It's 2,000 feet above a river. It took the commuter time for many in China from 2 hours down to 2 minutes. And just the overall scope of this thing is
crazy looking.
There's a restaurant up on top of it.
Oh, that's a hell no for me. No way.
Way up in the air. It's this massive, massive bridge that they built in, I think, under 2 years.
Imagine being the first car to drive on that.
Oh, man. It's something else.
Test it out.
But yeah, this was built over in China and has many features, including a restaurant up on top. All right, that'll do it for us today. Let's get the hell out of here. Here goes nothing. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Monday, October 6, 2025. Today I Learned this movie series. Home Alone. Home Alone, that's correct. Today I learned Home Alone actor Macaulay Culkin. You know what his middle name is? Macaulay Culkin?
Macaulay. It's Louise.
It's not Louise, no.
I don't know.
Macaulay Culkin's middle name is Macaulay Culkin.
I'm
So
sorry?
his name is Macaulay Culkin. That is his legal name.
Funny parents, huh?
His middle name, I think he might have changed it at some point. His middle name is Macaulay Culkin. So his name is officially Macaulay Culkin.
Sounds like a law firm.
A bit much, but there it is. Taylor, in the Guinness World Record.
It does look funny on Wikipedia, I gotta say.
The Guinness World Record for the largest feet on a living person, not held by C-Lane, despite the rumors. It's held by Jason Rodriguez, and his feet are 1 foot 4 inches long on his right foot and 1.39 on
Okay,
his
just
left
give
foot.
me a measurement, man.
Yeah, what
That's all I
size
got.
shoe?
That's all, it doesn't say what size shoe. He's got
Size
the biggest
34.
one.
Got it.
Taylor, in this band,
That's
The Who is correct. Keith Moon, the drummer for The Who, was fond of blowing up hotel toilets. He started with cherry bombs and graduated to dynamite, which is a bad thing. Once, in response to a noise complaint, Moon asked the hotel manager to stay while he went to the bathroom. He returned and then waited for the toilet to explode. Kind of like a good time. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow, same time, same place. Missed any of the show? Get the podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.